vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
Thornhill GM Superstore is your full-service Buick, Chevy, and GMC dealer. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, service, and pricing on your next ride. Home of the Thornhill 10120. You'll get total support with Thornhill GM Superstore.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
For your next vehicle, shop Thornhill Mitsubishi. Value, confidence, fast and easy credit acceptance, and total support with our 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty on every new Mitsubishi. No matter what lies on the road ahead, Thornhill is here for you.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier.
My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tiger Stadium, home of the Chapmanville Tigers, where tonight the 2-2 Lincoln County Panthers out of AAA get set to take on the 1-2 Chapmanville Tigers out of AA. Hello, friends, and welcome into the broadcast booth. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you this evening for this cross-county matchup. And Nathan, this is the first time these two have matched up against each other since October 13th of 2006, when Chapmanville beat Lincoln County 7-6 in their only meeting, and both these teams trying to get to either at 500 or above 500 for the season.
Yeah, and a long way back you had to go for that one, Chris, go all the way back that far. And we're in for a good one tonight. Lincoln County has surprised a lot of teams in AAA this year. I know a lot of people didn't expect them to be at 500 at this point in the season, but yeah, here they are. Chapmanville, a young team, had some struggles. I know they struggled a little bit against Wayne, but in that second half, it seemed like they were starting to put it together and got some late scores there to build some momentum heading for this game, as now Lincoln County is taking the field.
Well, we'll take a 2-minute break and be back for the start of kickoff here tonight on Tuesday Night Football from Chapmanville, West Virginia, as you are listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
In these uncertain times, it's reassuring that our county has a sheriff like Mike Rutherford. Here's what your neighbors have to say about our sheriff.
He supports local law enforcement. It doesn't matter what uniform you're wearing, Sheriff Rutherford will support you. He's taking care of his guys, his deputies. He's gotten them equipment, pay raises, and has really got the vision on where the Sheriff's Department should go for the future.
My commitment to you is to protect you and your family.
Please vote for Mike Rutherford.
Did you know when you send or receive a text message, you take your eyes off the road for 5 seconds? At 55 miles an hour, that's like driving more than the length of a football field, blindfolded. As a result, thousands of people die every year in crashes related to distracted driving. That's why we're cracking down on people who text or use their smartphones while driving. We would rather you cross the goal line alive. Law enforcement officers write tickets to save lives. Don't text and drive.
When it comes to uncertain financial times, United Bank has a very unique perspective. Seasons may change, but United Bank is always a constant, providing you safety, security, and sound decision-making. That's the reason we've been in business since 1839. Safe, sound, secure. It's the hallmark of our success. United Bank. at your service.
Boone Memorial Hospital is pleased to announce our specialty services are now accepting new patients for dermatology, cardiology, ENT, and psychiatry. Call today or visit us online. Boone Memorial Hospital, bringing medicine home.
Lost to North Merriam 43-0, and then lost to Wayne 28-14 on a short rest, coming back here on Tuesday night, trying to get over that loss on Friday.
Yeah, no rest for the Chapmanville Tigers. They come back on a short week here, and now they're back this week. And we're looking at them coming back Saturday for another game. So this has become a marathon for the Tigers and not a lot of time for that body to heal. Let's see how the effects of the Wayne game compound here on a Tuesday night football game.
And also Man playing tonight against Herbert Hoover. We'll try and get you some scores on that game.
One's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be a big game for the Hillbillies. So we'll try and update you on that as the night goes along. As Lincoln County approaches the ball, kick is on a squibber, and we're underway. Picked up at the 18-yard line across the 25, the 30, out across the 35, and finally down at about the 37-yard line goes Fred Miller. Nathan, time now for our Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the game. What do you see as it tonight for the Tigers?
Well, the keys to the game tonight for Logan, Chris, are they've got to, or excuse me, for Chapmanville, I said Logan, I apologize. For Chapmanville tonight, I think they need to strike quickly and get a lead because with the way Coach Barker has this system designed, they play so much better with a lead because of the way they can control the clock. And on the other side, they're going to have to stop this big Lincoln County team. This is a big squad. And if you're Chapmanville, defense has got to step up.
Those are your Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the game as 1st and 10 for Chapmanville from their own 37. Brody Dalton play fakes, rolls out near side, looks deep downfield. It is caught. Preston Smith on the run inside the 35 to 30 and finally out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. A pickup on the play of 40 yards, and those two hooked up on Friday night, Nathan, for 2 touchdown scores in that comeback attempt against Wayne as he hit him on 2 touchdowns of trying to find it on my stat sheet here. I apologize, but ended up hitting Preston Smith for 2 big touchdowns, and Smith finished for 90 yards and 2 TDs.
Well, he's already halfway to 90 now with that one.
So now 1st and 10 at the Lincoln County 27. They hand it off straight ahead, stumbling inside the 25, down to about the 24-yard line goes Caleb Witt. And just a reminder that Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the game. The key to your health care is with Logan Regional Medical Center, offering care for every stage of life, from the Women's Center to pediatrics and primary care physicians. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
I do like that Coach Bo Berry, offensive coordinator, went back to that Smith-Dalton hookup there on the very first play of the game. That was nice.
2nd and 6 for Chapmanville at the 24. They'll hand it off. Jackson Turner tries to get outside. He gets upended, lands hard on his right elbow, but thankfully gets up okay, but that'll go for no gain.
You got to watch about hurdling. Again, Chris, hurdling illegal in high school football, that could have ended up being a penalty.
Jackson Turner had a big game against Logan in the first game, had 30 carries for 110 yards and had a 6-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, he was really the man of the match in that one. He took over that ball game.
Yeah, last week against Wayne, Turner had 6 carries for 30 yards and 4 catches for 49 yards. So now Chapmanville faces a 3rd and 7 from the 24-yard line of Lincoln County. Dalton rolls out near side, looks to the sideline, broken up, intended for Preston Smith, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That's good defense there from Wayne, or excuse me, I am all tied up tonight. From Lincoln County, that was good defense there. Nice play to get in there and break it up. Yes, I know, Joe. I'm missing my step. It's Tuesday. I'm not used to doing this on Tuesday. But it was a nice play to break up that pass, and Chapmanville's got to go for it here on 4th down.
And that was Colin Miller, the junior, who broke that up for the Panthers. And as you said, 4th and 7, they're in no man's land here on their opening drive of the contest.
Yeah. And Lincoln County chased Dalton out of the pocket, but I don't know if they realize that Dalton's strength is outside of the pocket passing.
Dalton has 2 men to each side. He'll now send Turner in motion to the bottom as Turner back to throw, sets up the screen, and incomplete. As Witt turned his head to take off running before he caught the ball and looked like he had real estate to work with, but it'll be a turnover on down.
Yeah, it looked like Witt had a chance to get that 1st down, but just I think he tried to take off before he got the ball secured. And you see that a lot, even on Sundays you see that mistake happen. And that's just something that Chapmanville may look back on that one and want that one back. Now the defense here, let's see what they can do as Lincoln County takes over on their own 25.
And again, Chapmanville's offense trying to get some momentum going. Are averaging 11.3 points per game on the season, allowing 25.7 points per game as a defense. Lincoln County averaging 18.5 points per game, giving up 20 points per game thus far this year. As Bates takes a snap on first down, hands it off on the jet sweep coming near side, but not much doing, actually getting out across the 25. It looked like a pickup about 5 on the play. A nice squirt there at the last minute by Isaiah Smith to pick up extra yardage.
Yeah, and that jet sweep, if you can get some of your offensive linemen able to kind of pin back that defensive end on the other side and get some good blocking from your receivers, that jet sweep's there all day. Chapmanville defense did a good job to kind of stifle it, even though it did go for a nice game.
And Lincoln County on the year beat Roane County 33-14, lost to Ripley 21-7, lost to Doddridge 31-0, and then beat Wayne 34-14. As taking it as Bates off the right side, or actually Shemp takes it. Shemp gets out to the 35, and that'll be a gain of 5 and a first down.
And nice move into the change for Lincoln County. As this is a rivalry, Chris, we've seen it in basketball some. As Lincoln County in basketball, they don't care who they play. They'll take on all comers. Coach Rodney Plumley and company, they don't care. They'll play the Bulls. They don't care. And here you got the football team. This is good to see on the gridiron.
Well, now on 1st and 10, they'll hand it off right side. Nice lane for Smith across the 40. Breaks his way out to about the 43-yard line. That'll be a gain of 9. And Smith last week against Wayne had 28 carries for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also had touchdowns of 14 and 6 yards and had 3 catches for 83 yards and a 45-yard touchdown. So he's dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. And they're trying to establish that run right now.
2nd down and 2 from the 43. It'll be a snap back to Smith. He's hit hard in the backfield by Turner, and getting free with Smith, able to get out of it, and he got back. It looked like maybe the line of scrimmage.
Well, Turner did a good job to get into the backfield and disrupt that play. As just a direct snap right to Smith, and he just took off running with it and almost tried to get the first down. But I think they're going to mark him as a loss of about 1 on that one. Now Chapmanville's looking at a 3rd and 2 to try to stop Lincoln County.
8:50 to go here in the opening quarter. No score yet between the Tigers and the Panthers. As they line it up 3rd and 2 in the shotgun is Bates. He fakes the handoff. Quick throw out to the near side. Complete across the 45-50. A stiff arm there. Inside the 45 and down to about the 42-yard line goes Luke Adkins, the junior, for a first down.
Yeah, and a little crossing pattern right over the middle, just a couple of yards. Knew where the sticks were, grabbed the ball, and took off. And nice stiff arm there from Adkins to add some more to that gain, what should have been probably just a gain of about 3, and now they're going to hurry up.
So quickly they hand it off to Smith up the middle as he's cut down at about the 40-yard line. Nice tackle there by Evan Plumley, the junior, to hold him to a gain of 2.
Yeah, absolutely nice tackle. And if you look at the size of this offensive line, I was looking through the Lincoln County roster. They're mostly juniors and sophomores, except for that offensive line. The offensive line is loaded with seniors.
Bates play fakes back to throw on 2nd and 7. Steps up. He's hit, and he's going to go down for about a yard loss as breaking through and making the stop. It appeared to be Ryan Chapman, and it was for a 1-yard sack.
And that's a big play there from Coach Belcher's defense as he was able to dial up the right play to get some pressure into the backfield. Now Lincoln County on 3rd and 7. They've dominated this drive, Chris, by picking up yardage and grabbing first downs off of 3rd and short.
Now 3rd down and 8 from the Chapmanville 40-yard line. Bates in the shotgun, Smith next to him. He'll roll out to the far side. It's a quarterback keeper. He tries to cut back inside, does so, breaks it for a first down and more. He's free inside the 20, the 10, and touchdown Lincoln County, a 40-yard scamper for Bates, and they strike first with 7:23 to go in the first.
It was the move that Bates made to cut back inside that made that work, because Chapmanville had the play read. They read it all the way. They had him tackled probably for a 4th and 5, but Bates that cuts back inside, follows a couple blockers, and picks up the first down and then the touchdown. Nice run there for Lincoln County as they strike first here on Tuesday night.
And Bates was 7 of 9 for 88 yards passing, and also had 8 carries for 26 yards and a 1-yard touchdown against Wayne.
Interesting formation. That is a very close pistol that they run.
Now he goes under center, takes the snap, gives it off to Smith. He'll race to the sideline and gets to the pylon, and he's in. 2-point conversion good. And Lincoln County leads at 8-0 with 7:23 left in the first. We'll be back after this as you're listening to Chapmanville Tiger football action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Diana Barnett, candidate for Logan County Commission. Diana is a business owner committed to revitalizing the economy in Logan County.
Boone Memorial Hospital is pleased to announce our specialty services are now accepting new patients for dermatology, cardiology, ENT, and psychiatry. Call today or visit us online. Boone Memorial Hospital, bringing medicine home.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier.
My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
For your next vehicle, shop Thornhill Mitsubishi. Value, confidence, fast and easy credit acceptance, and total support with our 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty on every new Mitsubishi. No matter what lies on the road ahead, Thornhill is here for you.
Jackson Turner takes the squibber up across the 40, the 45, and to about the 46-yard line on the short kick by Lincoln County. And that'll give Chapmanville good field position to open up their second possession. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you. And again, Nathan, just like we saw against North Marion, Chapmanville drives down the field but gets stopped in the red zone and then the score given up on the other end.
Yeah, it seems to be the theme this year. Chapmanville has a hard time with that short field.
Now they come out here. Again, Chapmanville going left to right across your computer screen and radio dial. Lincoln County right to left. And like we said, with short weeks and hard getting practices in, it's been hard to try and adjust things for Chapmanville as they give it off to Witt up the middle. He'll break free across midfield inside the 45 and down to about the 42-yard line. A nice pickup of 12 on first down.
The head coach, James Barker, has stumbled into a problem that is kind of good to have with Turner and Witt splitting carries in the backfield, as Turner was the main guy in week one, but Witt really showed that he's got something to offer as a downfield runner here in weeks past.
Yeah, Witt had 17 carries for 70 yards and 3 catches for 35 against North Marion, and then against Wayne, Witt came back with 14 carries for 62 yards and 1 catch for 1 yard in that game. And I'm like you, it seemed like Turner was going to be the bell cow, but now Witt has opened things up as a quick throw out towards the far sideline, complete to Turner. He gets inside the 40, the 35, nice blocking, and close to a first down, and it will be a first down, a gain of 11.
And if you watch Brody Dalton every single game, Brody Dalton has improved throwing the ball, and he's gaining more and more confidence, Chris, as it seems, as this offense, as he gets more familiar with the position he's playing now and what he can do. And I really like what I'm seeing from Brody Dalton at the quarterback position.
Yeah, I saw those 2 highlight throws he had, touchdowns to Smith last week, and they were dead on, nice passes up the seam. So like you said, he's getting better each game as he tries to go back to Smith here on a quick hitter into the flat, but too tall for Preston Smith.
And he had Smith there too. Unfortunately, just kind of overthrew him a little bit. And that comes with timing, and it seems like Preston Smith has become his go-to receiver. You see it all the time, Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, and guys like that, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, just to mention a few. But anyway, back to this one.
3 receivers at the bottom, 1 up top on 2nd and 10. In the shotgun, they give it to Witt out of the shotgun. He'll barrel ahead for about 2 yards and go down at the 30-yard line of Lincoln County.
And here we go again with Chapmanville. They pick up yards. They first down after first down. They seem to get within the 30, and that's where things kind of seem to fall apart on each drive that I've been seeing from them. They really struggle in getting the ball past the 30-yard line.
5:48 to go in the first quarter. 3rd down and 8 for Chapmanville. Dalton will roll the pocket near side, pump fakes, looking, runs out of time and runs out of real estate as he's going to get sacked. Back at the 33-yard line, as coming up and making the stop was Luke Atkins to force a 4th and 11.
Yeah, that's a coverage sack if I've ever seen one, Chris. Dalton had plenty of time running to his right, which is the way he likes to roll. And just coverage downfield was too good. Dalton either should have thrown that one away or possibly maybe just lived to play another down there on that one. But at least he didn't try to force it and maybe get a pick. So a sack is better than a pick on that instance.
And I said, like you mentioned, his improvement. He was 5 of 20 for 48 yards and a pick against North Marion. Last week was 13 of 25 for 152 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception, also 7 carries for 62 yards. So Dalton continues to impress as he moves forward. But now he faces 4th and 11 from the Lincoln 32 as he rolls far side. Looking downfield, he'll take off. Not going to have enough room, and he takes a big wallop along the sideline. He goes down after about a 5-yard gain, but once again, Chapmanville gets into Lincoln County territory, but they turn it over on down.
Yeah, and Dalton there, you saw he's fearless. He didn't even try to to try to avoid that tackle. He lowered his shoulder and was waiting on it as he was going to try and get that first down any way he could. Unfortunately, the hit was just too much for him. Chapmanville turns it over on downs. But Lincoln County, another long field. Let's see what the defense can do now for the Tigers.
And now the Panthers come to the line of scrimmage. 4:47 to go in the first quarter. They lead it 8-0. As Bates claps for the ball, he'll take it, gives it off to Smith, and he's going to get brought down in the backfield. Great job by the Chapmanville front as they broke through clean, and about 3 Tigers were there to converge on him for a 3-yard loss.
Oh, yeah, they got into that backfield just as quick as the ball did. I don't know if they just timed the snap well or what, but great play by the front there, as there was about 4 guys in the backfield ready to make that play, and now Lincoln down second and long.
I think that was R.J. Jones who had a fumble recovery in the win over Logan who made that stop, the freshman. As Bates will keep it on 2nd and 13, takes it right side, gets through across the 30 to 35, and brought down by his helmet right at the first down marker by Preston Smith, but it'll be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, and they get into the backfield and make that great play there on first down, but then the long run from Bates is this Lincoln County offense. They just seem to know where the sticks are, Chris. They can just get there, and before any Chapmanville player knows that Lincoln County's picked up a first down.
Now they get to the line here, 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. It's Bates. Ball is fumbled on this exchange, but Bates able to get back on top of it, back at about the 32-yard line. That'll be a loss of about 5 on the play.
And Lincoln County lucky that they were able to get on that one. There was some Chapmanville, some of the front there was trying to get on that ball. Bates dived on it. Smart play. Now let's see what they dial up here again. Chapmanville cannot allow another second down big game rush. They've really got to key in on these rushers and stop them after they hit the line of scrimmage. These 10, 11-yard runs are just killing the Tigers right now.
2nd and 15 from their own 33, 3:20 to go in the first. As Bates takes the snap from the shotgun, flag comes down in the backfield, but Bates goes down in the backfield. He's going to be sacked for about a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, and they're going to decline this penalty because that was a clear hold there. I saw it. And they're going to decline this penalty.
I think that was R.J. Jones again who did it. Now, this might be a below-the-waist block. That could be a personal foul, 15-yarder.
Oh, it is.
So let's see if Chapmanville does take this. You're looking at 3rd and 18 or 2nd and 30.
Looks like they're going to take it. I mean, it's not a terrible idea.
Yeah, again, I think they're discussing it across from us right now as to what to do. Again, tough dilemma here. I mean, either way, you're in good shape, 2nd and 30 or 3rd and 18.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good problem to have. I think they're going to take it. I don't disagree with that. Because you've given up a lot of runs and a lot of passes here. Really give you a nice cushion here to try to stop this Lincoln County team. And who knows, if you can pin them back here, maybe get a pump block or something.
Yeah, and that might even be a spot foul, so they actually tack on the extra 3 yards to that.
Yeah, so we're looking at 2nd and Crawley.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're almost at Hugh Dingus grade school right now trying to pick up this first down.
That's a haul from here.
It's officially going to be about 2nd and 30.
2nd and Brown's run.
So Bates, they need the 48-yard line for a first down. They're back inside the 20 as Bates keeps it off the right side, tries to cut back, and he runs right into a defender. And a big hit laid on there by number 28 of Chapmanville. As we check the number, that's Lance Scott, the senior, who made the wallop.
Yeah, and now Chapmanville has a very good chance of getting a 3-and-out here on this, well, not a 3-and-out, I should say, but getting a stop here on 3rd down. I mean, it's 3rd and a mile. So if your Tigers here play off a little bit, let them keep the ball in front of you and force them to have to punt.
Preston Smith is playing safety in the parking lot right now as he approaches back up. Bates rolls out, fires, dangerous, almost intercepted as it went over the head of his intended receiver, and Smith almost made the pick.
Well, that's a big stop, though, for the Chapmanville defense. That's got to give them some momentum and get them fired up. They got a nice stop there. You know, the penalty helps, of course, but honestly, Chris, they did a great job getting the stop on their own. You know, just the penalty tacked on made it a little bit more impossible. So Chapmanville, good opportunity here. We're going to have good field position to start this one.
So it'll be Colin Miller back to punt, standing inside his own 10-yard line, about the 8. Preston Smith Back to receive for Chapmanville. As high snap, but Miller grabs it, rolls out, and does the rugby-style kick as it'll land at the 44. Takes a big Panthers hop across midfield. Wow, that's still rolling inside the 40 to the 35 and finally dies there. So a nice kick by Miller to get Lincoln County out of jail.
Absolutely, and they need to buy him a steak dinner later. That was an excellent punt. Nice rugby-style punt, and that ball just rolled on down the field. And honestly, Chris, I didn't think Chapmanville would be this far back to start this drive. Thought they'd be closer to midfield, but nice kick there. Field position is key in this game.
They're actually going to spot it at Chapmanville's 34-yard line. So the Tigers open up their third possession, trailing at 8-0, and trying to get on the board here. They've been into Lincoln County territory twice.
And only 1:55 left in this quarter.
Now Dalton under center. Has a receiver to each side. I formation for Chapmanville as Lincoln County stacks the line of scrimmage. They fake the handoff, looking downfield. Dalton's throw is almost caught, then almost intercepted on the deflection as Isaiah Kuntz came up, the sophomore, and almost caught that off Preston Smith's hands.
It looked like Smith had it almost, didn't secure it, and Kuntz just came in and knocked the ball away for an incomplete pass. Luckily there for Chapmanville, that one wasn't picked off. That was a good pass, though, from Dalton. That was a nice little three-step drop. And just delivers it. So nice play.
And again, this Chapmanville team, they may have lost to Wayne 28-14 last week, but again, just fell behind early. The total yards in that game, it was 331 for Wayne, 311 for Chapmanville.
If you can put up that much on Wayne, you're doing something right.
On 2nd and 10, they'll hand it off to Turner, and he's got nowhere to go as he's suplexed down in the backfield for about a 3-yard loss by Nate Baker.
Gordon Soley would say that was a nice play. But now Chapmanville facing 3rd and about 12, and I think you're going to have to try and roll Brody Dalton to his right again and see if you can make something happen here. Because that's when, to me, that's when Dalton's is most comfortable. He's rolling to his right. He's got the ball. He's got enough downfield to try to make something happen here.
So they're going to spot it at the Chapmanville 31.5 here. They need the 44-yard line. 1:13 to go in the first quarter as play clock rolls down below 10. 2 receivers to each side. Dalton in the shotgun with one back next to him as he hands it off quick to Witt. Nice call across the 35, the 40, fighting for yardage, and he's going to be a yard shy of the first down. I really like that play call there. They caught Lincoln County off guard, but now 4th and 1.
I'd have never thought a draw play would have been the call there. That was a good call. Lincoln County dropped back. I'd go for it here.
Yeah, so they're at least going to line up, and I would imagine.
Well, there's a measurement here, so we're going to get a measurement.
Yeah, they actually gave him a really good spot close to the 44. That's right at the marker,
yeah,
man.
That was a generous spot if I've ever seen one. So we're going to get a measurement here, and it seems like every game we have here in Tiger Stadium, there is a measurement.
I agree. It seems like it's part of our hallmark being here in Chapmanville.
Chapmanville, we got to get a measurement. So let's take a look at it here. And again, that is so close with that spot. That was a very nice spot that Chapmanville got.
Ooh, I'm gonna say got it. Let's see.
I'm gonna say he's short by about a half yard.
Boy, this is going to be so close either way. The nose of the ball is right on the 44, and that's where the yard marker is.
Let's see here. Here it comes. Another credit card?
Oh, it is. They're looking at it.
First down.
1 for Chris Kidd tonight.
Hey, good call. Good call, Chris Kidd. And he really, the referee, it was so close, the referee had to get over top of it and look at it. And again, who can forget the infamous credit card game here with Logan? I know we bring it up every broadcast, but it seems like every broadcast it's relevant.
I said even in the first game against Logan this year, I said there was a tight measurement in that game.
Absolutely.
So now they roll the clock. 45 seconds left in the first. Chapmanville trails it 8-0, but they're out at their own 44-yard line. 2 receivers to each side as Dalton in the shotgun. Witt next to him. He'll hand it off to Witt. Nice hole up the middle across the 45. Dives out the midfield, and that'll be a pickup of 6, and likely in the first quarter. And now
Witt's down, though. Or no, that's a Lincoln County player. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like you. I thought it was Witt at first, too, but it's a Lincoln County player that's down at the moment.
If you get hit by Witt, that's probably about the aftermath of what it would look like for me or you down there. Yeah. He's a horse.
Yeah, can't see the number totally, but they're looking at his right ankle, it appears, right now.
Hopefully it's nothing major. Hopefully maybe just rolled it or cramps or something of that nature.
Yeah, they're checking on it right now, trying to flex it and putting pressure on it to see maybe where the extent of the injury may be.
Well, while we got a second, We do want to thank Butch Mounts and Video Productions for having us on, and Joe Mounts here running the camera, the man, the myth.
You stop there.
Yeah, that's all I'm going with.
And thankfully, the
heroes get remembered, Joe, but legends never die.
You can never forget that.
No, you can't. But looks like he is the injured player is up.
Yeah, that is Dakota Lawrence, the junior, and thankfully he appears to be walking off under his own power and looks to be okay as he heads towards the sideline.
Probably an ankle roll of some sort there. I know I did that the other day just walking through the parking lot, and I thought they were going to have to call the ambulance down here.
It's like someone get the cart.
Yeah.
So he's going to head over to the medical tent along the far side and just get checked out a little bit more.
Yeah, Lincoln County has a medical tent. I think that is so cool.
Yeah, I love that. That's something that you hope that every high school team gets equipped with in the future.
Yeah. I mean, they got that. I guess they got a nice working relationship with the hospitals over towards Lincoln County. So that's pretty cool. I think the people at Logan Regional should think about that for our Logan County team.
They're trying to reset the game clock. Chapmanville's lining up here, 15 seconds left in the first. They may try and run another one.
Well, they've got time. There's 10 on the clock. Well, there was 10 on. Well, there it goes again.
And it looks like Chapmanville's just going to run this out, it appears. We're down to 3, down to 2, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter with Lincoln County up 8-0 on a 40-yard touchdown won by Gabe Bates. We'll be back after this as you're listening to and watching the Chapmanville Tigers right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
All right.
You wear it every day, so let's make your smile a priority. Dr. Joey Atkins and the friendly staff at Elk Family Dentistry are here to help you have a smile you can be proud of. Dr. Atkins treats patients of all ages for preventative and cosmetic dentistry. Make your appointment today by calling 304-965-6661. Elk Family Dentistry, making your life better with a beautiful smile.
When it comes to uncertain financial times, United Bank has a very unique perspective. Seasons may change, but United Bank is always a constant, providing you safety, security, and sound decision-making. That's the reason we've been in business since 1839. Safe, sound, secure. It's the hallmark of our success. United Bank, at your service.
Start of quarter number 2 here from Tiger Stadium in Chapmanville, West Virginia, as we are here for high school football Tuesday night with me and Nathan Bush. I'm Chris Kidd.
You and I have become high school football every night this year. Feels like we've had a game almost every night.
Wherever you need us, we're there.
Yeah, we don't mind it.
Yeah, and I said Chapmanville's game on Friday has been moved to Saturday with Nitro again. My tennis team has their conference tournament that day. You have your birthday party for your son, so we'll have to try and see how things maneuver around on that.
We'll be on standby. We'll see what happens.
Right now it's 2nd down and 4 for Chapmanville from midfield to start the second quarter. Dalton rolls back, tried to set up a screen, but nobody there as Witt got blown up trying to get a little block in as he tried to get by, and that'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, it looked like the intended receiver was on his face there at about the 45. So that was a screen that just was going nowhere. Had good blockers, though. The blocking was there, since there was no receiver.
And Chapmanville coming in here tonight at 1-2, again winning against Logan, falling against North Marion and Wayne on Friday night. Lincoln County at 2-2, beating Roan and Wayne and losing to Doddridge County, who's number 2.
Well, this game right here will actually make Chapmanville eligible for the playoffs.
Now Dalton fakes, he'll take off right side. He's got the lane inside the 45, and he slides down at the 40. A 10-yard run for Dalton and a great slide there, showing off those old baseball skills.
Yeah, and I like the play call. I like the fake the handoff and just let Dalton go. He's so fast, so much he can do with his feet as well as his arm. Like that play call there. Nice run from Brody Dalton.
Now they come to the line of scrimmage here. Dalton did have a 4-yard touchdown run in the win over Logan. That's a quick snap, throw over near side to Turner. Turner trying to find a crease, finally does, inside the 40 to the 35, still wrestling forward, still pushing the pile. Wow, still moving it, and finally they bring him down after a 9-yard run. He was a state tournament wrestler for Chapmanville, the first in school history, and shows off the strength he has right there moving those big bodies.
I'll tell you this, Chris, and I mean this. If you play football and that's your main sport and you're not a basketball or baseball player, you should be wrestling during football's off season.
I agree.
It's perfect for a football player.
So now it'll be second down and 1.5 here, and it looks, yeah, they got pretty much the whole defensive line for Lincoln County to jump offsides.
Offsides, everybody but the free safety.
Well, that was a great fake there by Dalton getting that hard count off.
And it feels like the momentum is starting to shift in Chapmanville's favor. They're getting closer to the red zone. They've actually had no red zone appearances tonight, but they've gotten deep into Lincoln territory. Let's see what they decide to do from here.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Chapmanville at the Lincoln County 27-yard line. Third trip inside the 30-yard line for the Tigers tonight. Can they cash in here? As 2 receivers to each side, they shift Witt over to the left. Now they'll hand it off to him out of the shotgun, barrels ahead, and picks up about 2 yards down to the 25-yard line.
We got one official who's on one side of the 25 and another official that's on the other side of the 25. So either gain of 2 or 3, so it's close. And they're going to split the difference.
We'll have it at the 25-yard line.
We'll just do that.
So 2nd down and 8 for Chapmanville. As 2 receivers to each side. Witt in the backfield with Dalton in the shotgun. Dalton takes a snap, fakes the quick bubble screen, now rolls out to the far side, looking downfield, running out of room, and gets rid of it. He takes a big hit.
Smart play from Dalton. Just get rid of the ball. No need to step back there and take a hit and lose yardage. Throw the ball, get rid of it. You're out of the pocket. Good play from Brody Dalton.
So we're down to 9:58 to go in the first half. 8-0 Lincoln County leads it. And Chapmanville trying to find the equalizer on this possession.
Yeah, let's see what they can come up with. This is, again, the area of the field where they've been struggling tonight. Don't know if they can maybe try and get Dalton again. Maybe Dalton keep the ball. Again, rolling him out has not been effective. Since that first big pass to Preston Smith, he's really been ineffective rolling and throwing. So let's see what they decide to do here.
2 receivers up top. They send Turner in motion. Low snap, but Dalton digs it out. Still rolling. Finally fires across the field. Almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of the Lincoln County defender as Isaiah Koontz almost had a gimme pick.
Yeah, and Preston Smith was open deep down the field, but there was so much pressure on Dalton, I don't think he could get the ball to him there as he was rolling to his right. And I don't know if Chapmanville's purposely letting Dalton roll that way or if it's just him running for his life, but he's really not had time to really get a good, solid throw off here since the first pass of the game.
Now on 4th down, Chapmanville will go for it again. Again, they're 0 for 2 on 4th down thus far. Both times inside the 30-yard line of Lincoln County. Could this be the charm? As they send out 1 receiver to the bottom, 2 up top.
And the middle of the field is wide open.
They fake the handoff. Now quickly under pressure fires. Turner makes the grab inside the 15, breaks the tackle to the 5, and he's brought down at the 2.5-yard line. Great awareness that time by the Tigers as that pass looked to be in danger, but Dalton got enough loft on it to get it in time for the receiver to turn around and make the grab, and Turner with the awareness to make sure he was looking for it immediately.
Yeah, and they had 4 guys spread out, and again, the middle of the field was wide open, and that's exactly where they found Turner, cutting across the middle there on a nice post pattern. Good catch, good throw, and now it's 1st and goal for the Tigers.
They'll spot him at the 4-yard line. Dalton under center on 1st and goal. Hands it off, rushing left side, wide open lane, and Jackson Turner walks into the end zone. Touchdown Tigers with 9:17 to go in the first half.
Nice run from Turner. How about the hog mollies under there in the trenches, battling, getting that hole open for Turner. Nice touchdown run.
That was a huge lane that you and I might have had a chance to get in there on, Nathan.
I wouldn't have got there quick enough.
I could have given you the 2-yard line anyway.
I would have needed a golf cart with my 40.
So now Chapmanville will look to tie the game as they'll go for 2. Under center, I formation, Turner the deep back. They'll hand it off to him again, rushes right side, tries to get airborne, dives forward, and he's in. 2-point conversion's good. And we're all square with 9:17 to go here in the second quarter. Back after this as you're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station.
FCA has incredible impact on coaches, the teams, the players, and the community as well.
It's changed our lives. It's changed mine as a husband, as a father, and as a coach.
It does make an impact on our lives.
FCA has become a full circle in our lives.
People from all different kinds of backgrounds.
If all we're going to be as a coach that happens to be a Christian, I think it's more important to be a Christian that happens to be a coach.
Hey, my name is Dante, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A nuggets is the authentic taste of it. You can tell it's freshly breaded, seasoned perfectly, and it just has this unique taste that compares to no other. Once I bite into it,
My name is Meredith, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is the oven-toasted, cheesy top layer. If home had a flavor, it would be Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. I'm passionate about it.
8-8 your score as Chapmanville evens things up on the 4-yard touchdown run by Jackson Turner and then the 2-point conversion run by Jackson Turner with 9:17 to go here in the first half. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush with you. And Nathan, Chapmanville, after being daunted in the red zone and inside the 30 for the last few games, able to break through on their third trip here tonight. It has to be a huge boost of confidence for them.
Absolutely, and it's big for Chapmanville. Quick update right now, the Hillbillies of Man and the Herbert Hoover Huskies, their game is underway. And right now the score is 0-0 in the first quarter. Video Productions doing a great job there, as always. So thanks, Video Productions, and we want to thank everybody that's been tuning in on this ball game for tuning in. We've got over close to 100 or 200 people watching on Video Productions.
I was going to say, if Man wins tonight, Harvey Arms might ban you and I for the rest of the season.
And I wouldn't blame him.
We've been there for the 2 losses so far, but if they win their second one without us.
That's a game that I have a lot of interest in. I'll probably go back and watch it later because that's a matchup of a good defense against a really tricky, good offense.
Now, Atwood will boot it away, and that's going to go out of bounds along the Lincoln County sideline at about the 37-yard line. So we'll see if they elect to have Chapmanville kick off again or not. It doesn't appear they will.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to have him kick again. So let's see what I mean, that's pretty good field position no matter what. So.
Yeah, it's at a 37-yard line. I said appears Lincoln County will be fine with starting there, maybe even the 38-yard line officially.
Yeah. And again, a lot of time on the clock here for Lincoln County. Chapmanville did a nice job on the last drive. Let's see if they can build off that. Lincoln County looking to get back to it on offense.
So they'll take the 5-yard penalty and move it up to the 42-yard line to officially start this drive. Again, last drive was restrained by a big 15-yard penalty and a couple of losses on runs and a sack. So see if the Chapmanville defense can keep up the pressure here. As they finally get set. It's down to 3 on the play clock. Bates is going to have to hurry here, down to 1, and I don't think he got it off. And
no,
here comes the
did they call a timeout maybe? Yes, they got a timeout.
So they just barely squeezed that in with 9:17 to go here in the first half. Well, just a reminder that this game brought to you in part by Nationwide Insurance. And Nationwide Insurance agent Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Chapmanville Regional Athletics and the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-855-4906. Greg Dalton Insurance with offices on Main Street in Chapmanville and Main Street in Logan. For all your sides, there is Nationwide. This is WVOW Logan.
How big of a win would this be, Chris? I don't mean to.
No, you're fine.
How big would a win for this Chapmanville Tiger team would this be to beat a AAA school here that they've not played in years and a cross-county rival? So I think if Chapmanville can pull this win out, this will go a long way into determining the AA rankings.
And I said the complexity of what they've went through with hardly any practice time, short weeks and everything else. I mean, it's just a nightmare for any coach or coaching staff, including the player. I mean, the players would rather play than practice anyway. But just not having that traditional preparedness, and then they're going to turn around and play again 4 days from now again. So, I can't imagine the pressure that James Barker and this staff have been over to try and get these guys ready, considering what they've been through.
It's a season unlike any other.
The Masters.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know about you, but I am.
Oh, I definitely am.
I love the Masters.
So now 1st and 10 for the Panthers as they waste their first time out of the half, as they have it at their own 42-yard line. 8-8 your score, as Bates calling out signals, now takes a snap, turns to throw, now takes off with it, can't find an opening, sidesteps one man, now heads upfield, gets to the corner, he's at the 45, the 50, has a first down and more down the sideline, and he finally is tripped up and brought down at the 36 of Chapmanville. He looked like he was destined for a 3-yard loss and turned that into a huge gain.
Yeah, I thought Bates there was dead to rights in the backfield, two guys I thought had a hold of him, and then before you know it, gets a block, squeezes away from a tackler, and Bates takes off down the field. And an impossible run there for the Lincoln County Panthers, but a first down.
That is a gain on the play of 22 yards for Gabe Bates. And as we said, he can beat you with his arm and with his legs.
Got to respect his running ability.
So now he sets up Lincoln County first down at the Chapmanville 36-yard line, looking to regain the lead as Bates takes the snap, hands it off to Smith. Smith takes it off the right end, disappears into the pile as no whistle yet, and finally goes down at the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A nice run there for Lincoln County as they're now starting to chop away at the yards here and try to get back into the Chapmanville red zone as they're getting closer here down to about the 30. So Lincoln County in business right now, looking to go up a touchdown after Chapmanville has tied this ball game.
Again, Smith had 221 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns against Roane County, had 73 yards on 16 carries against Ripley and 101 total yards against Doddridge County as he'll take the handoff here on second down. What a spin move, got away, and nice open field tackle by David Peluso to prevent likely a touchdown there. It will be a first down, but Peluso barely got a hold of him by the shoestring.
Yeah, Peluso doesn't make that tackle, then that's a touchdown for sure for Lincoln County. Nice play from him, but a nice spin move there for Lincoln County as they get the first down, and they're continuing to eat away at the yardage here on this drive.
First down at the Chapmanville 25-yard line. Under center is Bates. He'll give it off to Smith again. He's bottled up, but again gets away, turns the corner. He's to the 20, the 15, cuts back inside and takes a big hit in the back as Witt brings him down. But again, Chapmanville had the play bottled up, but another great move by Lincoln County to escape trouble.
And I'm telling you, this I think Chapmanville is going to ask, is this guy oiled up or something here? We can't get a hold of him. We try to bring him down. He's just elusive, and for a guy his size, Chris, he's using a lot of finesse to get away from these tackles, and Lincoln County officially back into the red zone.
First and 10 at the Chapmanville 12, 7:40 to go in the second quarter.
I think we're going to get a timeout from Coach Barker.
Actually, it looks like Lincoln County might have burned it.
Did.
Okay, now they say Chapmanville. The official was turned towards Lincoln County and then turned back towards Chapmanville. So the Tigers, probably a good timeout there, considering the 3 plays that they had a chance to tackle for a loss or no gain, and they turned into big gains all the same.
That was one of those timeouts, Chris. Maybe we need to catch our breath here and kind of reevaluate. Hey, wrap up, tackle, don't let go until you hear a whistle.
I agree. And again, Lincoln County, their history has been really checkered in football since they came back or became a school in 2006. Lincoln County won its opener for the first time in program history this year whenever they beat Roane County. They were 0-14 and finally won their first game of the season. Last year they were 1-9, and their only win was the final game of the season when they beat Sherman 32-0. They only averaged 11.5 points per game last year, allowed 33.2, and were shut out 4 times and scored 8 points or less 6 times. The only winning season in program history for Lincoln County was 2018 when they went 8-2, but they've not even had a 5-5 season in school history. And they've had 3 winless seasons and 4 seasons with only 1 win.
If I'm not mistaken, that 8-2 season they didn't play enough schools to qualify for their own playoffs that year.
Yeah, you're correct. Again, they put together a nice season, but they didn't play enough AAA schools to be able to qualify. So getting to 3-2 here would be a huge boost for this Panthers program. As Bates gives it off to Smith, bobbled the ball, but able to regather it as he falls forward down to about the 10, maybe inside the 10 to the 9.
That's just a dive play there. It's like, here's our running back, here's the ball, stop us if you can. Chapmanville did a good job, though. They only allowed 2 yards there. Now let's see what Lincoln County can do here deep into the red zone.
7:15 to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 8 from the Tiger 10. They fake it to Smith, roll out, Bates fires into the flat, complete, fighting forward and into the end zone, touchdown as he hits Scooter Phillips, the senior, for the 10-yard strike.
And a good play call there by Lincoln County. They faked the handoff, and I'm telling you, everybody from Chapmanville bid on that fake. And then just a wide open receiver there in the flat. Easy touchdown throw for Lincoln County as they retake the lead.
And they set that up the entire drive with all the handoffs to Smith. Chapmanville had to respect it.
Absolutely.
So now 7:08 to go here in the second quarter. 14-8 Lincoln County. They'll go for 2. As in the pistol is Bates. Smith behind him. As it'll be an option play to the far side. Bates takes it. He's not going to get there as he's going to go down for a loss on the play as R.J. Jones makes the stop for the Tigers. But the Panthers take the lead back on the 10-yard strike to Scooter Phillips. As we step aside for a 60-second break, you're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football action right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Boone Memorial Hospital is pleased to announce our specialty services are now accepting new patients for dermatology, cardiology, ENT, and psychiatry. Call today or visit us online. Boone Memorial Hospital, bringing medicine home.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Diana Barnett, candidate for Logan County Commission. Diana is a business owner committed to revitalizing the economy in Logan County.
In these uncertain times, it's reassuring that our county has a sheriff like Mike Rutherford. Here's what your neighbors have to say about our sheriff.
He supports local law enforcement. It doesn't matter what uniform you're wearing, Sheriff Rutherford will support you. He's taking care of his guys, his deputies. He's gotten them equipment, pay raises, and has really got the vision on where the Sheriff's Department should go for the future.
My commitment to you is to protect you and your family.
Please vote for Mike Rutherford.
14-8, Lincoln County leads Chapmanville with 7:08 to go here in the second quarter. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush with you as squib kick takes a high hop, fielded at the 41-yard line by Chapmanville. They're not going to get much further as still spinning around like a ballerina is Jeremy Browning before he's finally brought down. Again, he was being swung around over and over again and finally goes to the turf.
And now good field position for Chapmanville. Can they answer? Can they respond? They got a big stop last time, went down and scored. Now can they respond to this Lincoln County drive where they scored in just about 2.5 minutes? Let's see what the Tigers got here.
As we've seen Chapmanville move the ball on every possession. Lincoln County has scored on 2 of their 3 possessions, so could we be heading for a shootout here this evening? But we'll see if Chapmanville can play catch-up as they hand it off. Turner barrels into the line and falls forward, and he'll pick up close to 5 on the carry. And right now they're going back to him a little bit more because he is really moving the pile and running with aggression.
Yeah, Turner just seems to be one of those guys that says, I want the ball, give it to me, and I'll take us down the field. And he's doing just that. And let's see what Chapmanville dials up. When you can get a nice gain on first down, that really lets you open up the playbook a little bit on second and third down. So that's a nice gain there to start this drive.
And last year, Turner had 50 carries for 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also had 12 catches for 63 yards and a touchdown, but he's obviously a more vocal point this year as they give it off to the fullback, Caleb Witt, and he'll spurt forward across midfield down to the 49 of Lincoln, a gain of 6.
Yeah, and Witt seems to be taking over the fullback duties, and we've yet to see I don't know if Josh Atwood is in the game tonight or not, but he's usually the guy that's running the ball at fullback. So a lot of good backs in the backfield for Chapmanville. We talk about man and their committee back running they do. How about Chapmanville doing the same here?
Yeah, this is a different package, and we've seen it now. They get the Panthers in the neutral zone again.
Chapmanville may be the best team in the state at getting people to jump off sides.
And Brody Dalton has that very good cadence where he can get people to jump. We saw him do it 5 times to Logan in game 1, and he's already got it twice tonight.
Yeah, Logan, he tore Logan apart with that, with the hard count. And he's doing a good job tonight against Lincoln County.
So we're under 6 minutes to go here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 5 for Chapmanville. Tigers going right to left across your radio dial and computer screen with Lincoln County going left to right. As Tigers come to the line of scrimmage, 7 on the play clock. Dalton under center in the I formation this time. Turner the deep back as they fake it to him. Dalton will roll out looking downfield. He'll take off instead inside the 40. And Baker, or excuse me, not Baker, but coming up and trying to lay the big hit was Shemp on the play, but came up just a little shy of nailing him, but it'll be a first down.
Well, Dalton made the right decision there to slide, and now we're going to roll the clock, and 5.5 minutes to go. Dalton picks up the first down, and, good coverage by Lincoln County, so Dalton made the right call there and just keeping it and taking off with it.
Now 5:15 to go here in the first half. 1st and 10 for Chapmanville at the 39-yard line of Lincoln County. As Dalton fakes it, runs into Whip, but now finds a crease off the right side as he disappears into the pile and falls forward for about 4 yards.
And Chapmanville's doing a nice job on this drive, Chris, getting off to a good start on their first play on first down, gaining some yards, and they're They're using the playbook a little bit. They're opening things up. They're trying different things. And they're trying to let Brody Dalton explore what he can do. Because right now he's the most dangerous weapon Chapmanville has, and they've yet to be able to really stop him when he decides to run the ball.
Here they come to the line of scrimmage. They'll spot it at the 36-yard line of Lincoln County, so a gain of 3.
You got a backer over here on your receiver.
They take the handoff, trying to get outside his whip, but he runs into a pile of white shirt bodies, and he'll go down for no gain on the carry to bring up 3rd and 7.
Yeah, I still like that call there. You go back to Witt, who's done a good job getting things going for you. May even go back to Turner here on this down, because it's a two down territory here for Chapmanville. It's 3rd and about 6. And again, Lincoln County, they're playing an outside linebacker over on your slot receiver. I don't know how that can affect the way you look to throw, but if you've got a linebacker that's cheating over on your slot receiver, you may want to look that way.
4 receivers for him. Ball fumbled, kicked loose on the ground, and Brody Dalton able to get on top of it back at the 45-yard line, and that'll be a big loss on the play, and that's going to bring up 4th and 16.
You may punt here, Chris, I think. I think you almost have to punt here.
Yeah, again, Lincoln County defender broke through and was able to disrupt the handoff, and it ended up getting jarred loose. So now it appears James Barker will send on the punting unit. Now, this unit definitely has had their issues.
Yes, they have.
Again, against North Marion, that was a 7-0 game midway through the second quarter, and then North Marion scored 29 unanswered, but had a botched punt from Chapmanville and then a blocked punt that was returned for a touchdown that ended up breaking that game open. So, again, James Barker calls timeout here to try and discuss
Actually, I think Lincoln County called timeout.
Oh, yes. Actually, they did call time. Yeah, they're trying to save some of the clock. 3.5 minutes exactly on the clock right now.
Because you know they'd like to save some of that clock and go down and score because they get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, that'll be a big adjustment here. And I should make a correction now. It's actually been Nathan Shemp at quarterback for Lincoln County tonight. Again, Bates had been the one on everything that we'd seen coming into tonight, and we didn't really get a roster sheet until the last minute whenever we rolled in, but it's actually been Nathan Shemp, so I do apologize for that. And he has thrown a couple of passes on the season for them. Again, last week against Wayne, or in their last game against Wayne, Shemp was 2 for 3 for 56 yards in that game and had a 45-yard touchdown pass along with 2 catches for 26 yards. So, again, my apologies to the Lincoln County fans out there.
Oh, good. They were writing angry notes.
Yeah, we weren't. We didn't get anything or hear anything. I just finally noticed the difference on the numbers. Yeah, we had a tennis match with my middle school kids, and I got here literally about 10 minutes before we went on the air.
So we had second quarter, 3:30 to go. Who had that for when Chris mentions tennis?
No, we're going to talk about it at halftime, baby. As Peluso will be back to punt. At his own 40-yard line, low snap, but he picks it up as he'll get a high kick in the air, but it doesn't travel too far. It does take a Chapmanville hop inside the 30 down to about the 25-yard line. So they do pin Lincoln County back inside their own 30 with 3:22 left.
Compared to what you had with North Marion, you'll take that every day of the week to pin Lincoln County down inside the 25. Now, if you're Chapmanville, you got to get stops. You got to get a stop, and you got to try to keep everybody in bounds. Lincoln County's only got 1 timeout left, so they cannot stop the clock except for one timeout, or they get out of bounds. Now the ball being reset will stop the clock as well.
Now Shemp brings everyone out here with 1 receiver up top, 2 receivers up top actually, and 2 to the bottom. As Smith will be in the shotgun with Shemp on 1st and 10 from their own 25. 14-8 lead for Lincoln County. They'll send a man in motion. They will give it off up the middle to Smith as he gets across the 30 and goes down there for a gain of about 5.
You got to like that if you're Chapmanville. You don't allow too much to happen there. At this point, if you're Chapmanville, you can try to get a stop here and try to force and get the ball back and try to do something here. But your big key here is let the clock roll and do not let Lincoln County get into the end zone.
Down to 2:55 left in the first half. Under center is Shemp. So he'll give it on the inside, handoff coming near side to Atkins. He's going to get grabbed by the throat and brought down.
Oh, that's a personal foul.
Elijah Stallings made the stop, but now let's see here. The flag comes in late.
Yeah, it looked like the back threw the ball at Chapmanville. He threw the ball at the tackler. So that right there is going to be a personal foul.
Yeah, and obviously Adkins not happy because Stallings got him by the neck, but it wasn't anything intentional.
No,
Stallings he was just grabbing for what he could. Albeit, though, if I was grabbed as well, I would probably not be happy at that moment either.
Yeah.
But you have to keep your cool and not cost your team 15 yards.
Exactly. And that right there got the Chapmanville crowd fired up as well. And now another situation where Lincoln County backed up deep here. And now if you're Chapmanville, maybe you do try and go and get a stop here. And this is going to be – that was after the play, so it's a loss of down as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably the bigger thing there is that they lose the down and the yardage, so it's going to be 3rd down and about 20 here, 21. As 2:40 to go on a rolling clock. Chapmanville has 2 timeouts, but now they got to get the stop.
Well, after this play, you think they're going to use it.
As they bring some pressure off the edge, Shimp is going to keep it himself, takes it off the far side, trying to get towards the sideline. He breaks free across the 30, the 35, or close to the 35. He's going to be right at the first down marker. And again, Chapmanville just lost contain on that far end, and you got a Chapmanville player down back inside the 10-yard line.
Can't see who that is from here. And now you're going to look and see where the spot is. I think they're going to mark him. Are they going to call that a first down?
Yeah,
they are. That's a first down, and that is a huge play there on 3rd and 20. And Lincoln County picks up a first down. If you're Chapmanville, you got to be distraught by that one.
Yeah, that could be a backbreaker heading into halftime if Lincoln County goes down and scores here.
Yeah, especially because Chapmanville there, they get the stop, call timeout, and you got 2.5 minutes to try and do something. Now you're back on your heels again, and Shimp has just taken off a run and really giving Chapmanville fits when he decides to run.
And it's Jackson Turner, and you can see he's cramping right now.
Yeah, I think it's just a cramp.
Yeah, he tried to run off the field, but you could see his leg actually start to spasm as he was coming to the sideline. So
get that boy a banana.
I was going to say, if you got an IV at halftime, Jackson Turner's name's on it right now.
Yeah, if you got definitely water, potassium, anything to prevent those cramps. Because you can see those cramps are painful. Just ask LeBron James.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you've ever had them, you know that it's pretty debilitating.
Got an uncovered receiver down here for Lincoln County.
1st and 10. They'll give it off to Smith. He breaks free across the 40 to the 45. He's got first down yardage and goes down at his own 47, a gain of 12.
And that'll stop the clock till the change reset. And Lincoln County, it looks like they're going to be in a hurry here to try to get there because they're almost at midfield now.
Again, the 3rd and 20 conversion just a moment ago keeps this drive alive. And they are looking to try and go up by 2 scores just before halftime. They've got 1 timeout remaining. As they hand it off to Smith out of the shotgun, he stutter steps in the hole and gets free again inside the 45 of Chapmanville, the 40, and down to the 37-yard line as he's breaking off chunks of yardage now.
It's crazy that Lincoln County's been able to do this on this drive, Chris, and they haven't had to throw the ball at all. They've done it all on the run.
Again, Smith likely near or over 100 yards at the moment. As Chapmanville last week gave up 148 yards to Ethan Bowens of Wayne in that contest. As now it'll be Shimp to keep it. Breaks back across field. Was able to get by. Ball fumbled. Pick up by Chapmanville at midfield. The 45, the 40, and brought down at the 36-yard line as a flag down back in the backfield. It was
a hold, looked like on Lincoln County, but they forced the fumble, and that was a nice play. Let's see what happens here. The Chapmanville will decline this, and, man, that's a huge play for the Tigers.
As Brady Raines, the sophomore, picked it up and raced back the other way.
And he had nobody. That was a touchdown-saving tackle there from Lincoln County. There was nobody near him.
Yeah, he stumbled a little bit once he picked it up, which it looked like he would have been caught from behind anyway. But Chapmanville does get the turnover and now has new life at the Lincoln County 35, a minute 23 to go and 2 timeouts.
Back and forth we go with this game. It's like 2 heavyweight boxers just exchanging blows in the center of the ring, Chris. And now minute 23, let's see what the Tigers dial up here, and can they get into the end zone before halftime? They still got 2 timeouts.
Dalton under center. Turner, the deep back in. They play fake to him. Dalton steps up, and he's going to get hit and brought down for about a 4-yard loss, and Chapmanville burns their second timeout.
Yeah, and that's not what you want there, as there was a gang of people in the backfield there when Dalton went for that play action, and he turned around, and there they were. Now let's see what they try to dial up here on second down. Really down in distance at this point are kind of inconsequential, I guess you could say. You're going to try to get to the end zone here if you can. Does Chapmanville maybe have a trick play they pull out here, Chris? Do you have something that you've worked on in these 2-minute drills? You know you haven't had a lot of practice time, but what can you dial up here?
Yes, it's the rollout with Dalton just really hasn't been there tonight.
It has not been there at all. And I don't. Maybe Lincoln County has watched film, but they have been ready for Dalton to roll out. Every time he's went to roll out, they've been ready for it. So outside of that first big pass, Dalton's pass has been really negated here for most of the evening until that over the middle of the field throw he had down here to get set up the touchdown. So if you're Chapmanville, what do? Do you dial up maybe a double reverse, a reverse of some sort? Do you try to hook and ladder? I don't know. Well, I don't know what you do here, but you got to have something in your playbook for situations like this.
Yeah, again, they hit Smith on those first 2 plays. Since then, he's been non-existent in the offense, mainly because Lincoln County's been shadowing him everywhere.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's Dalton's favorite receiver, and Lincoln County knows that. Now, they've done a good job when they let Dalton roll and run, but other than that, the pass just really has only been there a couple of times tonight. If you're Brody Dalton here, do you do maybe another 3-step drop and just look for a completion? And you don't have to get it all at once. You don't have to get a touchdown right here. You've still got 1:17 and a timeout to work with.
Now they get under center on 2nd and 13 from the Lincoln County 38. They send Preston Smith in motion to the bottom. As Dalton will fake the handoff, rolls near side, looking downfield. Under pressure, he's hit, and he's going to get brought down again back at the 43-yard line. Another sack back-to-back for Lincoln County as the clock runs.
Yeah, and that's that rollout, Chris, again. The coverage has been good. They're looking for it. They're looking for Dalton to roll, and they're looking for him to throw while he rolls. And they're sending, I don't know if it's a spy or just the defensive end staying at home, but they're doing such a good job at forcing Dalton to make a decision between throwing a bad pass or trying to find room to run, and he's just not been able to do it here.
See if they go with a draw or set up a screen here for Witt on 3rd and 17.
Yeah.
They
Nice
do set
call,
it up.
Chris.
Witt to the 40, ran into a man at the 35 and gets himself down at about the 33-yard line with 28 seconds left. Chapmanville may want to burn their final timeout here.
I would burn that timeout and try here. I mean, well, it doesn't look like they will.
Again, the clock's still running here, and Chapmanville not in a hurry. They may just let this run down and go for the Hail Mary to end the half.
They may not even do that. They may just call it a half here.
Well, they got the timeout. They'll at least attempt the Hail Mary here with 5 seconds down to 4. Now James Barker will call time. So they'll set it up here to see if they can get a throw into the end zone. But now it comes down to the offensive line to try and give Dalton enough time to let the receivers get into the end zone.
What they need to do here is don't roll Dalton out on this one. Let Dalton stay in the pocket and let him do maybe a 5-step drop and really step into this throw. He's got the strength. He's got the arm strength to reach the end zone from here. You just got to give him time to do it. And that's going to be what we're seeing here from Chapmanville.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't have him roll out here either, just because then the defenders can get off the blocks,
Exactly.
And then if someone breaks free, try and step up and sidestep to give yourself a little bit more time. But if the O-line can give him enough time here, I think Dalton's definitely got the arm strength to get it down there. But it's going to take 33 yards to do so. And again, Chapmanville trailing at 14-8 here in the second quarter. This will be the final play of the half, barring a penalty at this point. Now James Barker and company talking in the huddle. We'll see exactly what they want to do. Again, maybe a chance here to throw it short and see if you can get, as you mentioned earlier, maybe a hook and ladder play.
Yeah, I mean, if you got some kind of trick play dialed up, this may be the time to use it here because, again, Lincoln County, they get the ball to start the second half. So this is kind of a wait-and-see situation here from Chapmanville. And Lincoln County, what they're going to do, they're going to line up everybody back towards the goal line and see what they can do here. And that's what they're doing. They're sending 4 guys back.
And both teams have dodged some bullets here in the second quarter.
Absolutely. If you're Chapmanville, what can you do here? They've got 3 guys deep on looks like a prevent defense.
And Chapmanville will send 3 receivers to the near side, Farley, Smith, and Turner, one up top. Yeah. And now Lincoln County gets a look at it, and they want to call timeout. That'll be their final timeout of the half.
Yeah. Smart play by Chapmanville, actually, to let that clock roll down because now it's 4th down. So even if Lincoln County gets a stop here, it's still pretty much inconsequential.
Now both teams will discuss the plan of action here one more time before we head into half and what was a pretty quick moving first half on both ends and a lot of entertainment on both sides. Again, we've seen a lot of big plays, a couple of turnovers that have turned into big moments. But right now it's the Panthers leading at 14-8.
Quick update. Herbert Hoover leads man 7-6 right now with 6:24 left in the second quarter. So Man and Hoover got a close one going on.
And that game at Mann High School tonight.
Live on Video Productions.
Yeah, so you can toggle back and forth here for all your Logan County action here this evening. Yeah. It's right now both local teams trailing, but both tight games at this point in time. As Tigers and Panthers both break the huddle and come back out. Again, it is 4th down and 8 from the Lincoln County 33, but this will be the final play of the half with 2.4 seconds showing on the clock.
Now they got 4 receivers on this near side, 1 on the far side.
They got 3 of them stacked up next to each other, and now they throw it out quick to Turner. Turner may turn to throw, but he drops it. Picked up there by Lincoln County, and that'll be the end of the half. But yet Chapmanville was trying to set up that throwback pass, but Turner just couldn't make the grab, and that'll end it for the first 24 minutes of play here from Tiger Stadium. Nathan and I will step aside for a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the first half of action here from Tiger Stadium as you are listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football action right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
In these uncertain times, it's reassuring that our county has a sheriff like Mike Rutherford. Here's what your neighbors have to say about our sheriff.
He supports local law enforcement. It doesn't matter what uniform you're wearing, Sheriff Rutherford will support you. He's taking care of his guys, his deputies. He's gotten them equipment, pay raises, and has really got the vision on where the Sheriff's Department should go for the future.
My commitment to you is to protect you and your family.
Please vote for Mike Rutherford.
Did you know when you send or receive a text message, you take your eyes off the road for 5 seconds? At 55 miles an hour, that's like driving more than the length of a football field, blindfolded. As a result, thousands of people die every year in crashes related to distracted driving. That's why we're cracking down on people who text or use their smartphones while driving. We would rather you cross the goal line alive. Law enforcement officers write tickets to save lives. Don't text and drive.
When it comes to uncertain financial times, United Bank has a very unique perspective. Seasons may change, but United Bank is always a constant, providing you safety, security, and sound decision-making. That's the reason we've been in business since 1839. Safe, sound, secure. It's the hallmark of our success. United Bank, at your service.
Boone Memorial Hospital is pleased to announce our specialty services are now accepting new patients for dermatology, cardiology, ENT, and psychiatry. Call today or visit us online. Boone Memorial Hospital, bringing medicine home.
In the WVOW studios as the Chapmanville band getting set to perform their halftime show down on the field right now. And Nathan, in the first half, very odd direction that the game kind of went. I mean, you had Lincoln County taking the lead on their first drive on that 40-yard run by Shemp. And then after that, Chapmanville able to answer back, tie the game at 8-8. Then Lincoln County came right back to take a 14-8 lead. And then both teams traded threats for the rest of the half, but neither able to break through either on turnovers or just good defensive plays. But we did see the defenses really step up and be able to bend but not break throughout the first half.
Yeah, and Chris, we saw a lot of offenses moving the ball, getting into the red zone, or at least on the team's other 30 at the worst, and a lot of points left out on the field for both sides here. you saw Lincoln County. I thought on that last drive, Lincoln County would score easily. The fumble really affected them there. Chapmanville tries to come up with something, can't do it. It just seems like when Chapmanville gets inside the Lincoln 30, the shorter field affects the Tigers. Chapmanville is not having a lot of luck so far in this half, rolling Brody Dalton and getting him time to throw. He's really had a hard time getting the ball out while rolling. They need to go back to Witt and Turner running the ball and giving Dalton the option. Maybe go to a read option be the thing here where we're going to run either Taylor or we're going to run Witt, and then Dalton pulls out, keeps it, and takes off because he's got speed to kill. And if you're Chapmanville, that's something you want to do. On the other side, Lincoln County, a lot of penalties that have really cost them here. A couple 5-yarders, the 2 personal fouls that really ended their drives for them because, Lincoln County has done a good job moving the ball. It's just those 2 personal fouls that they've had in this game have cost them.
Again, 14-8 here at the half. Nathan and I will step aside for a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the first half as well as things upcoming this week here in the high school game for both these squads, as well as looking forward to some other sports action coming up on WVOW and video productions throughout the week as you are listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on video productions.
Boone Memorial Hospital is pleased to announce our specialty services are now accepting new patients for dermatology, cardiology, ENT, and psychiatry. Call today or visit us online. Boone Memorial Hospital, bringing medicine home.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Diana Barnett, candidate for Logan County Commission. Diana is a business owner committed to revitalizing the economy in Logan County.
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
Thornhill GM Superstore is your full-service Buick, Chevy, and GMC dealer. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, service, and pricing on your next ride. Home of the Thornhill 10120, you'll get total support with Thornhill GM Superstore.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign. And tell them Hugs sent you.
For your next vehicle, shop Thornhill Mitsubishi. Value, confidence, fast and easy credit acceptance, and total support with our 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty on every new Mitsubishi. No matter what lies on the road ahead, Thornhill is here for you.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier.
My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
Back here at the half with Chapmanville trailing Lincoln County 14-8. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you on video productions and on WVOW radio. Once the conversations or the debates are over on WVOW, we'll also be there for parts of the second half. But again, here in the first half, Lincoln County able to take the lead on a couple of touchdowns. Chapmanville had it even at one point, but the Panthers' rushing attack has been very fierce thus far here in the first half. And Isaiah Smith has been a terror on the ground for Chapmanville. Nathan, again, a lot of spin moves, a lot of speed, a lot of agility, and a lot of strength to be able to stay on his feet. And he's really broken off some really impressive runs.
Yeah, he really has, Chris. He's done a lot for the Tigers, especially moving the ball, pounding the ball into piles, and just keeping his feet moving and moving piles, moving forward in this ball game. He's done a great job. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does in the second half. I think the Chapmanville defense has got to look for more stops here. They've really allowed some of the Lincoln County runners, especially when they've had a chance to bring them down for losses, to just pick up first downs. And that's, Lincoln County's done a great job being elusive, but there's been some times where Chapmanville has them stopped, and Lincoln County just picks it up anyway. And it's one of those, I don't know, it's just Lincoln County's done a great job moving the ball.
And Chapmanville's been able to come up with some key defensive plays when they've had to. But you also have to wonder, how much fatigue will end up setting in here, because, you know, they played on Friday night, you get Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, and then you come back and play again on Tuesday. And then, like we said, they'll end up getting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, and then playing again on Saturday. And you could see Jackson Turner had some cramps in the first half. You saw a couple of injuries on both ends. But you do have to wonder how much that may come into effect here in the second half. Also, putting into consideration, like we mentioned, the lack of practice and maybe the lack of conditioning that some of these teams were able to do because of the situations they were in over the summer and into early fall.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we talked about it earlier in the game. You've mentioned it. You know, Chapmanville played Friday night. There's going to be maybe some hangover from that. I mean, that's not a lot of time to really recover and rest per se. Now, everybody, of course, will say, well, these are high school kids. They don't get tired. You're going to get tired of getting hit day in and day out after a while. It's just how it is. So, again, not a lot of prep time for really either school. And then Chapmanville, again, after tonight, they got to get ready and come back Saturday and play. So we'll see what happens there with the Tigers. Lincoln County, again, looking to try to get back to a winning record here. They're looking forward to that if they can get it. Chapmanville trying to get up to 500. I know, the last two games, Chapmanville's had a rough go with things. So we'll see what happens as we go forward here in this ball game. But, again, still anybody's game with 2 quarters yet to play. Close ball game. And real quick, before we do anything else, again, we're going to take a look in, thanks to Video Productions. The Man Hillbillies, as we close in on the into the second half, the Man Hillbillies are leading 12-7 the Herbert Hoover Huskies, but the Hoover is driving now with a minute and a half to go in the second quarter and driving and trying to get into the end zone. I believe they've got 3rd and 5, looks like, from inside man's 10. So we'll see. We'll keep you up to date on what's going on there, and we'll let you know what's going on. So, again, lots of football in Logan County tonight. Tuesday is football night in Logan County. Did you ever think you'd hear that?
Not this week, but yeah, I said it's been an interesting week just getting ready for all this, and it's been nice to actually get in some local high school football this week as these teams try to catch up with the rest of the state and where they're at on their schedules as well. But right now it's 14-8 in favor of Lincoln County here at the half over Chapmanville. Nathan and I will step aside for a 2-minute break, and we'll come back talk a little bit more about high school action here tonight and around the state of West Virginia as you're listening to Chapmanville Tiger football action with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
In these uncertain times, it's reassuring that our county has a sheriff like Mike Rutherford. Here's what your neighbors have to say about our sheriff.
He supports local law enforcement. It doesn't matter what uniform you're wearing, Sheriff Rutherford will support you. He's taking care of his guys, his deputies. He's gotten them equipment, pay raises, and has really got the vision on where the Sheriff's Department should go for the future.
My commitment to you is to protect you and your family.
Please vote for Mike Rutherford.
Did you know when you send or receive a text message, you take your eyes off the road for 5 seconds? At 55 miles an hour, that's like driving more than the length of a football field, blindfolded. As a result, thousands of people die every year in crashes related to distracted driving. That's why we're cracking down on people who text or use their smartphones while driving. We would rather you cross the goal line alive. Law enforcement officers write tickets to save lives. Don't text and drive.
When it comes to uncertain financial times, United Bank has a very unique perspective. Seasons may change, but United Bank is always a constant, providing you safety, security, and sound decision-making. That's the reason we've been in business since 1839. Safe, sound, secure. It's the hallmark of our success. United Bank, at your service.
Boone Memorial Hospital is pleased to announce our specialty services are now accepting new patients for dermatology, cardiology, ENT, and psychiatry. Call today or visit us online. Boone Memorial Hospital, bringing medicine home.
Again, you're starting to see more players step up in different positions. Again, the offensive line really started to move the pile a lot there in the middle of the second quarter and late in the first quarter, giving some running lanes. But, you started to see Preston Smith start to emerge a little bit more at receiver. You're seeing Caleb Witt continue to develop in the fullback and running back spot. Having Jackson Turner back is starting to pay some dividends for Chapmanville as long as he's okay for the second half. But, I think Chapmanville still trying to find a lot of those skill players and put in a lot of their sets that they need and being able to teach those sets. So they've been a little limited in what they could run, it feels like, in the first few games just because of the situation they've been in. But it seems like they've started to open things up a little bit more, and they showed a few more different plays here tonight than what we've seen in the first few games.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see that more and more as things move forward. Just learning the system and learning Coach Barker's system, because there's so many different things that he's going to do and so many different things he's going to try and do. So it's one of those situations where the more these guys play together, the more practice time they get, the more they're going to be able to do together as a team, and the more plays you're going to see from Chapmanville.
Yeah, and right now, it's just about getting that repetition down as far as that goes, because Chapmanville, they do have several key seniors on the roster, but they also seem a lot younger than they would be an older team like they were in the last couple of years, where they did lose a ton of seniors, it felt like, every year. And this year, they're going to lose some key seniors by the end of the year, but they've got a good, talented pool of freshmen that are starting even and playing big minutes right now on both sides of the ball. And you see some of the sophomores developing in the junior class seems very talented right now. So, James Barker and crew, they've got a lot to build on, not just for the rest of this season, but moving on in for the rest of the future here.
Absolutely, Chris. There's so much that they can do going forward. And as the band will exit the field, good to see the band out tonight, as well as the cheerleading squad, too. They're out here this evening. And now we got a barn burner going on in man right now as I'm watching. Herbert Hoover, I think, just scored, and they will go up 13-12 with 1:15 to go in that one. So we got a really good ball game here and a good ball game in man, and you should be flipping back and forth between the two, if you ask me, on video production. Get up there and let Butch and everybody know how much you appreciate what they're doing here.
As I said, just open up two screens on your computer and toggle back and forth. That'll be great.
Or plug it into your TV. That's really what you got to do there. That's what I like to do.
Well, again, we're about 7 minutes away from the start of the second half. We'll step aside for another 2-minute break and be back after this as you're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
14-12.
Boone Memorial Hospital is pleased to announce our specialty services are now accepting new patients for dermatology, cardiology, ENT, and psychiatry. Call today or visit us online. Boone Memorial Hospital, bringing medicine home.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Diana Barnett, candidate for Logan County Commission. Diana is a business owner committed to revitalizing the economy in Logan County.
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
Thornhill GM Superstore is your full-service Buick, Chevy, and GMC dealer. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, service, and pricing on your next ride. Home of the Thornhill 10120, you'll get total support with Thornhill GM Superstore.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign. And tell them Hugs sent you.
For your next vehicle, shop Thornhill Mitsubishi. Value, confidence, fast and easy credit acceptance, and total support with our 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty on every new Mitsubishi. No matter what lies on the road ahead, Thornhill is here for you.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier.
My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
Back, everybody. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you from Chapmanville, West Virginia tonight, as Chapmanville in their 4th game of the season meet Lincoln County in their 5th of the year, and right now it is the Panthers leading it 14-8 over Chapmanville as Lincoln County emerges from the locker room. Chapmanville over in their own end zone, getting set for the start of quarter number 3. And if you're Chapmanville coming out here in the 3rd quarter, Nathan, what is it you feel like you've got to execute on? Again, they go on defense first, but what is it you feel like they got to execute on a little bit better here in the second half to try and get this lead and come out of here with this win?
Well, from 30 to 30, Chapmanville looks amazing. Once they get inside the 30-yard line of Lincoln County, they really struggle. They're going to have to find a way to not leave points on the field because they've really struggled to put the ball in the end zone once they're able to get inside the red zone and to get into Lincoln County's territory. They've got to dial up some plays. They've got to get Brody Dalton more comfortable because he's been uncomfortable all evening when he's not running the ball. He's really struggled passing the ball. They've got to find some way to establish him passing. They've got to let him, if he's got to be a pocket passer tonight, Chris. Lincoln County's been ready for that rollout. They've been getting to him, and they've been doing an excellent job covering downfield. He's got to throw from the pocket. And on defense, you just got to slow down Lincoln County. You got to force them, again, to be frustrated like they were in the first half. And you've got to try and stop them somehow from being able to get out and run the football as successfully as they have because, let's be honest, Lincoln County hasn't thrown the ball much tonight. And what times they have been somewhat effective. But for the most part, it's been that run game. And Chapmanville's yet to be able to stop it.
Again, Bradley Likens and his group over on the far side trying to get into the above 500 column. As we said, only one winning season in school history for Lincoln County. And again, trying to fight their way maybe into some playoff consideration if they can pull off a win here tonight. Well, Nathan and I are going to step aside for our final halftime break. And when we come back, it will be time for the start of quarter number 3 here from Chapmanville, West Virginia, as you are listening to and watching Tiger football action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on video production. Getting set for the start of kickoff here in quarter number 3 here from Chapmanville, West Virginia on this Tuesday night for high school football action. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush with you. And again, Chapmanville will be back in action on Saturday against Nitro. Again, it'll be kind of up in the air if Nathan and I will be available for that call. Again, Nathan's son turns 2 and has his birthday party. And, you know, I've got our middle school conference championship tournament. By the way, Nathan, our girls are 11-0. Our boys are 10-1.
Nice.
And so we had a big win over a good Logan team tonight over there. And I told him I'm on to job number 3 now. So
there you go.
Yeah, so these 16-hour days just aren't what they used to be.
I tell you, I mean, I know the feeling. But, yeah, my little boy's birthday is next weekend, but we're doing his party this weekend. So I know you're not listening, little guy, but happy birthday, Kay. Daddy loves you.
And thankfully, no one has to deal with me being their father. So
this is true.
That's good news for everyone. So now Chapmanville will set it up to kick it away here at the start of the third quarter. Josh Atwood in the booted as Lincoln County will be going left to right across your computer screen and radio dial, with Chapmanville going right to left as Atwood approaches the ball. Now sidesteps it as it'll be kicked off instead by another lineman as it's bobbled at the 30. It goes back to Smith. He picks it up at about the 23, finds a crease across the 30, the 35, takes a big hit at about the 40 and goes down at the 41.
That's a nice return there, and nice little trick there from Chapmanville. Threw me off. I thought Atwood was going to boot it, and then the old trickaroo there. What would you call that? The statue of kicker play? I don't know what they got a name.
Kicker play.
I don't know.
I thought maybe an onside kick was coming there for a moment.
Well, with the position Lincoln County got, it might not have been a bad idea, honestly, because they ended up with really good field position anyway.
Now they come out. It'll be Shemp in the pistol with Smith behind him. One receiver up top, one to the bottom. As Shemp claps for the ball and takes it, gives it off to Smith. Waits and now approaches the line and finds a little gap across the 45. Squirts his way out to about the 48, a pickup of 7 on first down.
And that was a nice bit of running there. We haven't really talked that much about Lincoln County's offensive line tonight, Chris, but they've really done a great job in the trenches, opening holes for these running backs, and they've done a really solid job of getting off the blocks and giving this team room to run, because they've really not had to throw too much tonight. This big senior-laden offensive line has done most of the work.
Now they come to the line of scrimmage on 2nd down and 3, same formation. Smith behind Shemp. He fakes it to him. Now goes deep downfield and broken up by Brody Raines. Again, he had the pick up on the fumble earlier, and Brady Raines able to get there in time to knock it away to create 3rd and 3.
Did a good job there of getting his arm up and forcing that incomplete pass, and didn't hit his man too early, because if he'd hit him a little early, that'd have been pass interference. So nice play there from Raines. And now 3rd and 3. Let's see what Lincoln County elects to do here. I got a feeling they're gonna hand this one off again.
Yeah, they line up with Smith in the backfield. Chapmanville's had their difficulty stopping him all night. Can they do it here? As they will give it to the big back. Rushes left side. He's hit but breaks free, and he's going to get the first down. Again, Chapmanville, for about the 4th or 5th time tonight, had a chance to bring him down for no gain or a loss and just could not get him to the ground.
He's been so elusive for such a big guy, Chris. He just gets those feet moving, and Chapmanville gets a hand on him. They just can't bring him down, and he's done a really nice job running the ball. And again, this Lincoln County pistol, it's interesting because the back is almost right on top of the quarterback.
Yeah.
They're not side by side. He's still behind him, but it's about a yard difference.
They come out with that formation again. Now Smith will go side by side with Shemp, as Shemp will keep it himself as he gets upfield. Ryan Chapman able to bring him down, holds him to a 2-yard gain.
And that was a good play from Chapmanville there. They were ready for that one. And man, Shemp is fast.
Yeah.
For those that who haven't noticed, that kid is quick, because as soon as he gets the ball, that first step, he is taking off and he is moving.
Again, Shemp in at quarterback. Again, I'm not sure if Bates was hurt last week or not in that game. Again, he came in to Shemp for a few throws and a few runs at quarterback, but Bates not in tonight. And Shemp's done a phenomenal job standing in as they give it off to Smith. He breaks out of a tackle, still on his feet. What a sidestep as he has the first down and more, down to the 35, still fighting forward, and gets to the 34, a gain of 12 as Atwood was able to get a hold of him finally.
What do you got to do to bring this guy down? It seems like Chapmanville gets him in the backfield, but he's still getting 6, 7, 10 yards a carry. He's just really hard to bring down.
At the moment, it may take a tranquilizer, and he's just running like a man possessed.
Be careful. There's people around here that know somebody, so you better be careful.
As we said, he had 221 yards in the opener against Roane County and 3 touchdowns and over 100 yards all-purpose against Doddridge. As Shemp will keep it, and he takes a huge hit, bounces off of it, still on his feet, and fights forward for 9 yards. What a run off of that big collision by him.
And again, Chapmanville's doing a great job of putting pressure on these backs. They're just not finishing the tackles. It's the Lincoln County backs have been elusive, and now he's going to be under center, is Shemp.
They get a line quickly here as it's basically goal line formation, and Shemp will keep it on the quarterback keeper as he takes off on the left side, and he'll fall forward. He'll have the first down to about the 22-yard line and pick up about 4.
And again, the Chapmanville defensive line is doing their job, Chris. They're creating hits. They're getting pressure on the backs. The backs are just being elusive, and Chapmanville can only get a hold of a jersey, and they're not able to wrap up and tackle. So, again, this has just become, can Chapmanville bring down these 2 runners in the backfield that are Shemp and Smith?
Now Smith behind him again as a flag comes down.
Got some movement up front maybe.
And 8:37 to go in the third quarter. It's 14-8 Lincoln County, and it will be offsides on Lincoln County.
Okay. Actually, that's something you don't see very often, but I think I actually saw it the other day. So not something you see often, but I've seen it now twice in the past week.
I saw the same call you did on that NFL game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is a Lincoln County team. I mean, they averaged just 65.4 yards rushing the ball last year and 54.6 passing yards. And what an improvement a year makes under Bradley Likens. I mean, this team is explosive.
This seems like they found the right coach for this job. He's doing a great job with this team.
Now 1st and 15 at the Chapmanville 27. This time Shemp will roll out. Now he cuts it back inside, gets inside the 25, still on his feet down to the 20, and he'll pick up about 7 yards to create a 2nd and 8.
Yeah, it gives Lincoln County a little bit more of an option on 2nd down. And Chapmanville, again, like they roll him out looking to pass, but it almost seems like his first option is to run. And I think he was looking to run there. I don't really think he was really looking to throw too much. Again, Bates not in the game. And that gives your backup, who's more of a runner, a chance to do what he does.
Now they line it up, 2nd down and 8 from the 20-yard line of Chapmanville. They give it to Smith. He stutter steps in the hole, but he's not going to get anywhere this time as Chapmanville does a great job converging and holds him to no yards.
Yeah, Chapmanville's got to be standing there going, oh, finally we stopped this guy. Seems like every time somebody puts a hand on him, he gets faster.
And they did a good job of converging on each side that time, giving him no lane to cut back in.
Yeah, because his cuts have been deadly. He's juking and stepping over people. It looks like a young Barry Sanders out there with the way he can move. So Chapmanville did a good job there to wrap him up and bring him down. Now it's 3rd and long, but this is definitely 2-down territory for Lincoln County.
This will be 3rd and 7 for Lincoln from the 20-yard line of Chapmanville. Shemp will take the snap, drops the throw, quick out, but it's going to be incomplete as it hops to Miller. And it's good coverage that time by Raines will bring up 4th and 7, and they'll definitely go for it.
Yeah, and you can see Shemp's not comfortable throwing like he is running. You can see that there as he let that ball go. He had a receiver. There was good coverage by Chapmanville, but Shemp just didn't get the ball there. It just bounced. So, again, he's way more comfortable running the ball and handing the ball off and rolling out than he is standing there in the pocket trying to throw.
So here we go, 4th down and 7,
Big
Lincoln
play
County.
Here. Big play here.
At the Tiger 20 as Shemp will roll out near side. He's got a lane to run in. He's got the 1st down and more as he squirts inside the 10, hit hard from behind, and he'll hang on to the ball. It'll be a gain of 15, and there was just no Tigers out there to contain him that time.
Yeah, and you had to know as soon as he took off running to his right what he was going to do. He saw where the blocking was. The blocking pushed the defensive end to the right. He cuts back inside. Nobody there. Easy 1st down.
So 1st and goal to go for the Panthers from the 5. 6:30 to go here in the third quarter as Smith will take it out of the Wildcat. He takes it off the left side, but he's not going to get much. Gets down to about the 3-yard line. He'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, and a big thing here, Chris, is Lincoln County has eaten 6 minutes of clock on this drive, as it is now about 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in this quarter, and that's a big thing for a Chapmanville team that's trailing already and could possibly be trailing by 2 scores.
Like Evan Plumley and company there on that stop as they approach the line of scrimmage. And as you said, half this quarter gone. Chapmanville is yet to touch the football, and Lincoln County looking to end this 59-yard march right here. It's under center is Shemp. Sends a man up top is Phillips. He'll take the snap, gives it off to Smith. Smith breaks out of a tackle, but can't break out of another as he goes down to about the 2, maybe the 1 yard line, and that'll create 3rd and goal.
That was good goal line defense from Chapmanville as they were able to get into the backfield, and Smith made the first man miss. The second man didn't, but man, he's a Madden juke player if I've ever seen one. That spin move is deadly.
Well, they line up quick here.
Somebody moved. That had to be a false start.
Yeah, again, they tried to get up quick and quick snap it on Chapmanville and go with a quarterback sneak, but instead they false start themselves, and that is a huge penalty. Takes it back to the 7 yard line.
Yeah, that's going to really hurt there. And we want to welcome everyone who's joining us now after the debates here on WVOW Radio. We're glad you're with us. Where you been? You've missed a half a game. I'm kidding, but this is a big drive right here in this ball game, as now Lincoln County will call timeout.
Yeah, again, good chance to recap things here. Again, Lincoln County, if you're just joining us on WVOW, they jumped out to an 8-0 lead on a 40-yard run by Nathan Shemp and scored the 2-point conversion. Chapmanville answered back on a touchdown run by Jackson Turner from 4 yards out, and then Turner added on the 2-point conversion to tie the game at 8, and then that was answered right back by Lincoln County on a drive to score. A 2-point conversion was no good that time. Both teams had their opportunities to end the half, but neither team could put up any more points, and we went into intermission at 14-8. This is the first drive of the 3rd quarter, and Lincoln County has chewed up nearly 7 minutes of the clock on this methodical drive from their own 41-yard line.
And now they're looking to finish.
And again, they had 3rd and goal from the 2, but the false start penalty just now will back them up to the 7 as they burn their first time out of the half. Again, Lincoln County at 2-2, Chapmanville at 1-2. Trying to get to 500 on the year. The Panthers, only one winning season in school history. That was in 2018. Trying to get into the playoff picture on the AAA side.
Yeah, and they're definitely on their way, Chris. If they can get a win here tonight, that'll push them even further. And all right, here we go now. 3rd and goal. Let's see what Lincoln County does.
Shemp has had a lot of effectiveness on those rollouts, but they'll give it to Smith. He's rushing far side, cuts inside, gets to the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown Panthers as a flag comes in late. Could be a face mask after the fact on Chapmanville.
Yeah, it might be, and let's see what they call here.
As the officials converge here, and Lincoln County clapping, and it will be a touchdown good, and the penalty will be an unsportsmanlike penalty against Chapmanville.
Yeah, I think what happened was one of the Chapmanville players maybe had a late hit or something there. And I believe that's like the first, I think that's the first penalty on Chapmanville this evening.
Yeah, again, Chapmanville's been pretty disciplined as far as the season goes on penalties.
Well, would you expect anything else from a Barker team?
Yeah, again, like against North Marion, they were only flagged once, but it was declined, and they haven't really shot themselves in the foot as far as penalties go in these ball games. But yeah, I'm like you. I think that's the first one that they've had this evening. So now Lincoln County will come to the line of scrimmage and go for 2 to try and make this a 14-point lead.
Yeah, big 2-point conversion here.
They put 3 receivers up top, 1 to the bottom as Shemp in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, rolls out far side towards the 3 receivers. Still looking. Now under pressure, takes off, and
nope.
He's in.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
They give it to him. 2-point conversion's good, and Lincoln County opens up a 22-8 lead with 5:11 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Back after this as you're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football action with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Diana Barnett, candidate for Logan County Commission. Diana is a business owner committed to revitalizing the economy in Logan County.
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them.
Lincoln County will kick off from the 45-yard line at Chapmanville after the unsportsmanlike penalty. As As they'll approach the ball, it'll be a squib kick over to the right, picked up there and falling on quickly at about the 29, close to the 30-yard line, where Chapmanville will set up for their first drive of the second half after that 6-minute and 50-second march by the Panthers.
That was a nice play there from Chapmanville just to dive on that ball. But, Chris, I'm gonna say something here now that I think people need to hear. Tomorrow in Logan County, if you're listening in Logan County, early voting starts tomorrow. We encourage everybody to get out and vote.
Exactly. Again, it's civic duty and something that obviously we encourage everyone to do regardless of who you plan on voting for.
As long as just get out and vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for whoever.
I agree. Again, it's just something that we all should do and do it as safely as possible. So please try and do that as soon as possible. As they hand it off on first down, and Turner again refuses to go down as he plows his way out to about the 39. He was hit at about the 35 and picked up 4 more yards just moving the pile.
He's been doing that all night, Chris, and he still looks like he's cramping a little bit as he kind of hobbles back to the huddle. But he's been doing that all night. You give him the ball, and he's just going to keep going until somebody stops him. He's doing a nice job for the Tigers.
Now Chapmanville to the line, 2nd down and 1. As Lincoln County crowds the line of scrimmage, Dalton under center, 1 receiver to each side. They'll give it off in the backfield. Turner hit in the backfield but falls forward. Going to be close to a first down.
Yeah, we got a couple little jawing going on down here on the field between Lincoln County and Chapmanville. So nothing happened, just a little good-natured trash talk.
And as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Chapmanville and Lincoln have only played once against each other, and now Turner down again trying to get to the sideline as he was suffering from cramps late in the first half and appears still be the same issue here in the third quarter. But, last time they played was October 13th, 2006, and Chapmanville won that game 7-6. So interesting that they're, cross-county, but this is only the second time they played each other.
Yeah, you'd think this is a rivalry that they'd want to continue. And again, a lot of the kids from Hearts had the decision: do we go to Lincoln County High School or do we come to Chapmanville? It's a natural rivalry that I would like to see more of, Chris. And honestly, so Hamlin's not that far of a trip. So again, I guess it's just where Lincoln is a AAA school. So we'll see what happens.
Turner's still being worked on down on the field right now as he's getting stretched out and hopefully going to be okay. But like we said, Chapmanville played on Friday night, turning around now and playing on Tuesday night, and they'll turn around once again and play on Saturday night, or Saturday afternoon rather, against Nitro.
Quick update, it is halftime in the downtown metropolis of Man as Man trails Herbert Hoover at George A. Queen Memorial Field 14-12 at the half. Again, Man trails 14-12. It is halftime. We will keep you up to date on those scores, or that score, as we move forward here in this one.
Yeah, again, as we said, toggle back and forth between both of us here this evening. Again, both local teams, and again, Logan, I believe, going to get set free to play this week as well, if I'm not mistaken.
We'll see about that. I don't know. I haven't heard anything, so we'll see.
Yeah, again, they had a player that came down with COVID a couple of weeks ago, and I think the 2-week period has passed for them at the end of tonight. So we'll see if they're able to play this week or not. As 1st and 10 for Chapmanville at their own 40. They give it off to Atwood straight ahead, as Atwood with his first carry tonight, and he gets 5 yards for the flag.
I think we're going to get a personal foul out here on the edge.
And it came down where the corners and receivers were.
Yeah, the corners on this side of the field have really been going at each other, the corner and the receiver. They've been kind of jaw-jacking and a lot of pushing and shoving, so I think the official finally said enough's enough. Who's it going to be on is the question.
Face mask against Lincoln County, and looked like it's going to go on Trace Adkins, the senior.
Yeah, because he threw his hands up, and normally the guy that throws his hands up is the guilty one. So.
Oh yeah.
What's the old saying? The official never sees the start, but he always sees the retaliation.
Yeah, it's always the second guy that ends up getting it worse.
The second guy always gets caught. So that adds in, and it's a first down Chapmanville at the end of the run for Atwood. And it's good to see Atwood running the ball. It's the first running we've seen him get tonight.
Again, he had 3 carries for 5 yards against Wayne last week, as it is 1st and 10 for Chapmanville at the 49 of Lincoln County. This time nothing doing as Witt tried to take it up the middle, but he got met by Phillips, and he goes down for no gain.
Yeah, and Phillips met him right at the line, and Witt was unable to get anything going. Now 2nd and long. See what the offensive coordinator, Bo Berry, dials up here.
3:15 to go on a running clock here in the third quarter. Lincoln County leads Chapmanville 22-8. Trying to move to 3-2 on the season. Chapmanville trying to stop a 2-game skid and get to 500 at 2-2 if they can come out with a win. Dalton under center. Offset I formation as they'll pitch it back. Coming near side is Miller as he's hit but stays on his feet and able to worm his way forward. And got landed on by his own guy at the end of it. And thankfully everybody gets up okay.
Man, that could have been bad. But how about Miller there able to cut back and actually get positive yardage there. Nice run. I mean, it was only a gain of about 4, but still a nice run there to get positive yardage and not lose yardage.
Fred Miller, just a freshman. We've seen him a lot on kickoff returns.
There's going to be a lot of these Chapmanville players as sophomores and juniors that are really going to be impressive next season, just getting their feet wet this year.
Yeah, again, a lot of those younger guys, they had a lot of success in middle school football as well. So now 3rd and 6, Dalton, quick throw as he gets into the flat, and it's caught across the 40, down to the 35, and down to the 32-yard line. As big catch there by Peluso to move the chains.
And that right there was what I said, Chris, at halftime. We need to see Brody Dalton drop back, nice 3-step drop, finds a man, just a little post pattern, turns around, finds him in the middle of the zone, easy first down. Nice play, Brody Dalton and Peluso.
As I said, find him and get those receivers set down in those zones as they give it to Peluso. What a stiff arm at the 35. He's still giving ground, and he's going to go down for a 2-yard loss, and looked like a late hit on the end of that. The Chapmanville bench wanting a flag, but not going to get it as Peluso gets up limping a little.
Yeah, it was a nice stiff arm from Peluso, but unfortunately he had to run back about 5 yards afterward and ended up losing about 3. But still impressive from Peluso. He's like a fire hydrant. You know what I mean? He doesn't look as big, but I'll tell you what, he'll hurt you.
So now it is 2nd down and 12 for Chapmanville at the Lincoln County 35. 1:15 to go here in the third quarter. And it's Dalton, 2 receivers to each side. Late draw play, but not developing this time as it'll go for a 1-yard loss and create 3rd down and 14.
And now you're Chapmanville. You don't have to get it all on this down, Chris. You can run a nice, I would maybe see a screen play come here on this one. You might see a nice screen pass. This would be the perfect down to do it because you're going to go for it on 4th down. So let's see what Chapmanville elects to do here. Again, I think the screen would be the call to go with here.
This third quarter coming to a close here as we're under 40 seconds to go here in the
this
third.
quarter flew.
Yeah, again, that near 7-minute drive by Lincoln County. This is only the 2nd drive of this quarter, mind you. Chapmanville's held it for the last near 5 minutes themselves. As Dalton with 2 on the play clock down to 1. And
timeout.
And Chapmanville will burn their first timeout of the second half with 23.2 seconds to go in the quarter. Well, just a reminder, this game brought to you in part by Nationwide Insurance. And Nationwide Insurance agent Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Chapmanville Regional Athletics and the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-855-4906. Greg Dalton Insurance with offices on Main Street in Chapmanville and Main Street in Logan. For all your sides, there is Nationwide. This is WVOW Logan. So again, with the way that Lincoln County was able to run out this clock more or less in the third quarter, Nathan, that makes these drives for Chapmanville now very, very valuable. And you come away with nothing here, that could be trouble.
Well, Chris, I'm kind of surprised that we saw Chapmanville just kind of let the clock roll there and let the play clock run down. They had plenty of time to get a play call in, but they elect to let the clock roll down and then take time out. I was kind of confused by that, unless there was some confusion on the sidelines or between the players on the field. I'm not sure, but, you know, at least now you take the time out, you get your players together, the coaches get to talk, and you come up with the perfect play for this situation here. Again, don't have to get it all on 3rd down and long here. You got another down because you're going to go for it probably no matter what.
Yeah, I'd imagine this is 4-down territory unless they suffer a big loss on this down. And now Dalton comes out. 3rd down and 13 from the Lincoln 35 as he drops back under pressure, breaks out of it, looks downfield. Nice fake as he gets by one man, and what a sidestep inside the 25 and runs out of bounds, and a late hit on top of it as James Barker makes sure his players don't retaliate. and gets them back to the huddle. But what a couple of moves by Brody Dalton to pick up that third down.
Yeah, and that was a nice run. Dalton with the pump fake. And then, again, you're going to get a late hit call here, so that's going to be a spot foul.
And that's going to be, I believe, the third personal foul against Lincoln County.
That's going to put Chapmanville in great position here. And Dalton got out of bounds, so that's going to stop the clock as well. They're going to have another play as we go forward here in this third quarter. Let's see where they place the ball. Will it be half the distance, or is it they're going to mark the whole 15?
It should be 1st and goal for Chapmanville regardless.
Is. Looks like half the distance.
Yeah, it's going to be, looks like around the 8-yard line. Chapmanville will have it with 11.6 seconds.
We don't have our rules expert up here with us this week, Brian Shepard.
Yeah, he's probably somewhere screaming into
I'm
a computer
sure.
screen.
Yeah, he's somewhere cussing us right now. But now let's see what Chapmanville does here. 11 seconds left in the third quarter, and they're trying to dial something up here. And 10 seconds on the play clock, and they're sending in another man.
It looks like they were short alignment as Elijah Stallings runs in with 4 on the play clock, down to 2. They'll get the snap off. They'll give it off left side as Witt will climb down inside the 7, and now another hit late.
It's getting chippy down there.
Yeah, but no flag on this one, as that will end the third quarter of play as Lincoln County has increased their lead to 22-8, but the Tigers knocking on the door at the start of the fourth. We'll be back after this as you're listening to and watching the Logan County High School football game of the week with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Most people think that after an accident, you'll have to pay $500 for your deductible. The truth, at Allstate, you could pay $0. Allstate gives you $100 off your deductible the day you sign up. Then another $100 off every year you don't have an accident. Let the good hands reward your safe driving with a deductible that goes away. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
Nice.
Tiger Stadium in Chapmanville, West Virginia. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush with you. Terry Bucklew, our engineer, back in the WVOW studios. The Wolf holding down the station right now for us.
Wolf, baby!
Oh! And as for you, Terry, as down here we've got Mr. Joe Mounts.
And actually engineering our game is actually Butch Mounts on location at one of his palatial palaces.
Took the time from his massage to sit here and give us the engineering job for tonight's game. So thank you, Butch.
Yes, he's he
the Godfather himself.
Took a break from buying a new car.
It's 2nd and goal for Chapmanville. From the 7, Dalton play fakes, rolls out, pump fakes, now takes off with it, fumbles into the end zone, but Chapmanville recovers. It's a touchdown, Tigers.
Wow.
What a sequence there as Dalton put the ball out, had it like a loaf of bread and had it knocked away, and it was dived on by Witt, I believe, and Witt gets credit for the touchdown.
Anybody flashbacks to the Oakland Raiders right there with that play?
The fumble-rooski.
Yeah, what a play. And Chapmanville, I don't know if it was – sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And Dalton looked like he was going to be short, but the fumble into the end zone, Witt recovers. Nice play for the Tigers as they're down 8. And this 2-point conversion could be very, very big right here, Chris, if they can cut it to 6.
Again, Turner ran it in the first time, but he came out with cramps, but appears to be back in here as he'll line up as the deep back. Witt in at fullback on the 2-pointer. They'll give it off to Jackson Turner, and he'll walk into the end zone, and Chapmanville has crawled to within 6, 9 seconds into the fourth quarter. We'll be back after this as you're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football action right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
General Stores knows West Virginia. But what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
Did you know when you send or receive a text message, you take your eyes off the road for 5 seconds? At 55 miles an hour, that's like driving more than the length of a football field, blindfolded. As a result, thousands of people die every year in crashes related to distracted driving. That's why we're cracking down on people who text or use their smartphones while driving. We would rather you cross the goal line alive. Law enforcement officers write tickets to save lives. Don't text and drive.
Got a close one now here in Chapmanville as the Tigers have crawled back to within 6 here in the early stages of the fourth quarter. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush with you as both teams have had one possession here in the second half, and both have gone the field and burned off nearly 6 minutes each on their drives. As it'll be Atwood to put his right leg into it. He swings it and puts it into the air. It comes down to Isaiah Smith. He bobbles it, but picks it up at the 23, across the 25 to 30, almost squirts free and is brought down from behind at the 37-yard line, and he was a eyelash away from being off to the races.
Yeah, and if he would have got loose from that last tackle, ooh, there could have been some fireworks there. But now here you go. Chapmanville's defense has got to step up and get a stop here, Chris. That's what they cannot allow another score. They've marched down the field and scored. They're within 6. Now, if you're Chapmanville, you have to get a stop here, and you got to stop the run game. That's really where Lincoln County's bread and butter's been this whole ball game.
Here they line it up again. Lincoln County ran off 6 minutes and 50 seconds on their first drive of the half. And now, can they go down the field again, or can Chapmanville keep the momentum? They give it off to Smith. Smith bounces around in the hole and then finally just takes what he can get and gets out close to the 40-yard line, a pickup of 2 on the play.
If you can hold Smith to only a gain of 2, you've done your job. That guy has been killing the Tigers this evening. He's really been tough. So nice play there from the Chapmanville defense to kind of lock him up for only a gain of 2 or 3.
As we said, he had 221 yards and 3 touchdowns against Roane County, 101 all-purpose yards against Doddridge, had 159 yards and 3 touchdowns last week against Wayne.
Oh, shovel pass.
They give it to Atkins. He's got some room near side across midfield. He's got one man left out there. It's Smith. Smith able to get to him and bring him out of bounds, but not until he gets down to the Tiger 27-yard line.
That was just a fantastic play call there by Lincoln County. I thought the ball was handed off again and Chapmanville had stuffed the runner, but what they did was they sent a man in motion and just kind of shovel passed the ball to him, and there was nobody on the edge. Nobody saw that play coming, so nice play call from Lincoln County.
I'm like you. I thought it was going to be something to Smith. Yeah, so let's see what we've got here.
We got too many men on the field, maybe, or
the officials discuss it.
Oh, well.
Now he'll come over. Looks like substitution infraction against Chapmanville. So that'll be an illegal substitutions on the Tigers, and that'll create a 1st and 5 now at the Chapmanville 22.
And now you don't want to give Lincoln County any free yards if you're Chapmanville. That's one area you've done a pretty good job in tonight. Been disciplined, only the 2nd penalty on the Tigers this evening.
Now they line it up. They'll give it off to their bell cow Smith again as he plows his way down inside the 20 to the 19. He'll be about a yard shy of the 1st down.
And Chapmanville's going to have to try and bow up here and get a stop of some sort, Chris. I don't know if maybe you can try a blitz here or just stack the box. And Lincoln County's lining up for a sneak here.
And Shemp just gets low behind the center here. I'd say he's going to keep it, and he does, as Chapmanville came through and hit him initially, but he's going to fall forward as he spun off of one guy as ball came out late, but after he was on the ground, but that should be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, that will move the chains. And again, Shemp, when he's under center, you don't see Shemp go under center much, so kind of telegraph that one. But again, the offensive line for Lincoln County really needs to get a lot of credit this evening. They've done a nice job opening holes for these backs, and I think Lincoln County the Lincoln County faithful should really recognize how good that offensive line has been this evening.
I agree. Again, they've done a great job opening up some holes for Shemp and Smith.
Absolutely.
Now 1st and 10. He puts it right into the chest of Smith, gets out of a couple tackles. Now he heads towards the sideline, gets inside the 15 to 10, and that'll be a 2nd down and about 1 here on the carry. And again, Chapmanville has just had their issues trying to bottle him up and get him to the ground. As he's been able to make that first tackler miss, it feels like half the night.
See, he's running the ball into the hole and running into the line, so the defensive line is really clogging the interior. He's just done a great job of hitting that and bouncing out and getting outside those defensive ends who have just not been able to contain him.
They're actually going to bring it back to about the 10.5 here, so they'll bring up 2nd down and a long 2 for the Panthers as they're knocking on the door to try and retake a 2-score lead. As Chapmanville crowds to the left side of the line, Shemp play fakes, drops to throw, fires into the flat, complete to Adkins. He gets by a man inside the 5, fights forward, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Lincoln County on a 10-yard rollout, and what a fight by Adkins to get his way into the end zone to retake a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah, and Atkins really put his head down there and really should have been stopped before the goal line, but was able to fight forward and get the touchdown. The only good thing about that score for Chapmanville was Lincoln County did it in a hurry. So there's still a lot of time on the clock for the Tigers to try to come back in this one. That's the only positive you can take away from that score.
Yeah, again, that was basically a 2-minute drive by Lincoln County after they went nearly 7 minutes on their first drive of the half. And now a chance to put this back to a 14-point bulge if they can get the 2-point conversion, as in the pistol is Shemp. Fakes the handoff to Smith, throws the back corner wide open. For the 2-pointer is Phillips, and Lincoln County now has a 30-16 lead with 9:52 to play in the 4th. We'll be back after this as you're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
FCA has incredible impact on coaches, the teams, the players, and the community as well.
It's changed our lives. It's changed mine as a husband, as a father, and as a coach.
It does make an impact on our lives.
FCA has become a full circle in our lives.
People from all different kinds of backgrounds.
If all we're going to be is a coach that happens to be a Christian, I think it's more important to be a Christian that happens to be a coach.
Hey, my name is Dante, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A nuggets is the authentic taste of it. You can tell it's freshly breaded, seasoned perfectly, and it just has this unique taste that compares to no other. Once I bite into it,
My name is Meredith, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is the oven-toasted, cheesy top layer. If home had a flavor, it would be Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. I'm passionate about it.
9:52 to play here in the 4th quarter as Chapmanville trails Lincoln County 30-16. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you. Terry Bucklew Engineering back in the WVOW studios. Butch Mounts Engineering on Video Productions, and Joe Mounts on camera with us on Video Productions.
In between his wine and cheese plates, Butch Mounts taking care of this time.
Again, everybody doing a fantastic job as always here on both networks, as Peluso will pick it up on the squib kick and gets it out to the 30-yard line before he goes down. And Chapmanville now in pretty much a must-answer drive here.
Yeah, they have to score here, and we got a, is that Peluso down?
Yeah, it appears he's riding on the ground right now, needing medical attention, as must have fallen or had someone fallen on him.
Maybe took a knee to the back or something there, because the way he landed was really awkward. We'll take a second here and tell you the Hillbillies and man trail Herbert Hoover 21-12 right now in the 3rd quarter. They're about halfway through the 3rd. So Hillbillies still within striking distance, down 9. And I think Joey and company up there at Herbert Hoover, they're doing a nice job.
Yeah, again, whenever he got hired there, he had a feeling that program would be able to turn around, maybe not immediately, but definitely in a hurry.
Again, man, playing AA competition. I mean, I feel for the Hillbillies because you got to feel that if they played some single A squads that they'd really dominate, because they are a good football team. It's just unfortunately they're having a hard time getting any single A team scheduled.
As Peluso's helped to his feet, being helped off, but still able to walk off with
Looks
some
like
help.
he's holding his stomach a little bit, so I don't know what happened there. Somebody may have fell on him, or
May have fallen on the ball too, and
that hurts.
Then had someone fall on him.
Yeah.
And so maybe that could be a rib or anything right now.
If you've ever cracked or bruised a rib, it is painful. I've bruised a rib one time, and I couldn't breathe right for 2 weeks. The only ribs I like these days come with sauce.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope that's not the case for David, but they get him to the sideline, and they'll check on him and see what the issue may be as we go back to action. It is 1st and 10 for Chapmanville from their own 30, going left to right across your computer screen and radio dial. Lincoln County right to left as they give it off up the middle. Nice yardage for Turner as Turner gets out across the 35, or actually Witt out to the 38-yard line, a gain of 8.
And right now, Chris, I think something that I'd like to see from Chapmanville here, they haven't went back to it in a while. I think that screen pass will be there. They have ran the ball very effectively here in this half. You're down, you might want to try and throw it. I think a nice screen pass from Brody Dalton would work here.
Dalton takes the snap. He'll give it off up the middle, and first down for Witt across the 40 as he barrels ahead up the middle and gets about 4 yards total.
Yeah, and that's a first down, so that'll stop the clock. Now, you don't want to take too much time on this drive if you're Chapmanville. You still got 2 of your timeouts, and Chapmanville needs to try to score as quickly as possible. Then they got to try and force a stop or an onside kick recovery with Lincoln County because they're down 2 scores now.
We're under 9 minutes to go at 8 minutes and 50 seconds on a running clock as Dalton runs into Witt. He's in trouble in the backfield, and he's going to get sacked for a big loss as getting through and making the sack was Dustin Jeffers, the junior, and that'll create a second down and about 17.
I actually like the play call there to let Dalton make the read on what he wants to do. It's just unfortunate that Witt and he collided, and that hurts the communication there, and that effectively hurt Dalton from being able to get out and move. Now, Chapmanville second long.
Now the clock continues to run. 2nd and 17 for Chapmanville from their own 35-yard line. Dalton in the shotgun takes the snap under pressure again, rolls out, fires across his body, and incomplete as a flag comes down again after the play.
Yeah, and the screen was there that time. They were trying to set it up.
Let's see what the issue is here.
Yeah, I didn't see anything, unless maybe an eligible man or something. But it was a screen play, so who knows?
And the official's still discussing it here.
Yep,
and
an eligible man.
Let's see if Lincoln County accepts this. Again, it would be 3rd and 17.
Yeah, I think I would decline this if I was Lincoln County.
Yeah, I believe it's just a 5-yard penalty.
Let's see what they decide to do. They're going to take it.
Yeah, they're going to march this off.
And you're right, just a 5-yard penalty, but now it's 2nd and a mile.
Yeah, again, I would, I mean, obviously that's why I'm up here and not down there, but I would have still taken 3rd and 17 over 2nd and 22.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I mean, that's a field position call there. And Lincoln County trusts their defense, so they're going to try and battle for field position here. So see what Chapmanville can dial up here. They got 5 receivers.
Dalton rolls to the near side, looks downfield, has Preston Smith and caught at the 45-yard line. He takes a big hit out of bounds, as that'll be a nice pickup as they get a big chunk of it back, and it'll create a 3rd down and 7 now on the gain of 15.
And that's why, Chris, I don't like the taking the penalty there. I think you were right in saying they should have declined it, because now you got 3rd and 7 where it would have been maybe 4th and 5. I like 4th and 5 better than 3rd and 7.
Yeah, I said the play call probably differs a little bit whenever you go backed up like that. And Smith ran a great pattern there, a nice out route to the sideline, ran a deep out, and was able to find himself open for the first time since the first quarter. So now 3rd down and 7. Dalton rolls to the far side, lobs it deep downfield, and what a catch by Jackson Turner. Was he inbound? Yes, he was, as he goes out at the 40. What an athletic grab by Turner.
And what a good throw from Brody Dalton. Dalton lofted it up and put it to where only his man was. Jackson did a good job finding a nice hole in that zone, and Dalton hit it right on the money, and Turner keeps his foot in bounds, and that's a 1st down. If you're Chapmanville, you got to pick up the pace, though, because that clock, right now it's stopped, but it is not your friend. You're down 2 scores, under 8 minutes to go.
That was another gain of 15 on the play, so Chapmanville gets out of trouble in 2nd and 22.
Again, Chris, that's why we like the play call of declining there.
Now Dalton under center, play fakes, almost sacked him. What a sidestep to get away. He's looking deep downfield. One-on-one coverage for Smith. What a catch!
Wow!
At the 2-yard line, Preston Smith went up for the jump ball and comes down with it for the 38-yard gain.
If you're going to throw a jump ball, hey, ain't no time to celebrate now, folks. You got to get down there on the ball and get in the end zone. Clock's not your friend. Chapmanville celebrating, and it was a great play, but you can't rest on your laurels. You got to get into that end zone now. What a great play from Preston Smith, though. My goodness.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 1, actually, a 39-yard play. They'll hand it off, and what a stick up the middle as Turner was met immediately and will lose about 4 yards back to the 5-yard line.
Man, what a hit. Turner, he don't know what hit him there, but now if you're Chapmanville, you don't like that. But again, let's go back to that catch from Preston Smith. My goodness, you don't throw a jump ball and have Preston Smith lose very often. He does not miss jump balls very often.
He is really starting to establish himself in this offense over the last 2 games as they play fake to both sides, roll out, throws, intercepted. Picked off at the 10, back the other way comes Atkins across the 25, the 30. He breaks free, and he is into the clear as this will be a 99-yard touchdown return by Isaiah Kuntz, and that will be a backbreaker for Chapmanville here tonight with 6:41 remaining in the game.
Yeah, that hurts if you're Chapmanville. That really hurts. You get down, you're there, you're about to punch the ball in, and just an interception there. That hurts if you're Chapmanville.
99 yards for Isaiah Kuntz as he just read the eyes of Brody Dalton that time, trying to hit that ball or hit that quick pattern into the flat. And once he got through the initial line, that was it for that play. And Kuntz has Lincoln County on the verge of a 3-2 record with 6:41 to go in this game.
Yeah, that's a backbreaker there. And that's, you hate to see that, Chris, because, we felt like we were going to have a really close ball game here, and then just that happens for Chapmanville. And, it's just unfortunate.
Like we said, a lot of growing pains still going on for this Chapmanville club, but as we said, we've seen a lot of positive signs. But this Lincoln County club, they've come in here with a lot of reckless abandon through the early part of this season, and now they'll go up by 22 as Smith takes the handoff and gets to the edge, and he will walk it in for a 38-16 lead now for the Panthers with 6:41 to go. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Wear it every day, so let's make your smile a priority. Dr. Joey Atkins and the friendly staff at Elk Family Dentistry are here to help you have a smile you can be proud of. Dr. Atkins treats patients of all ages for preventative and cosmetic dentistry. Make your appointment today by calling 304-965-6661. Elk Family Dentistry, making your life better with a beautiful smile.
When it comes to uncertain financial times, United Bank has a very unique perspective. Seasons may change, but United Bank is always a constant, providing you safety, security, and sound decision-making. That's the reason we've been in business since 1839. Safe, sound, secure. It's the hallmark of our success. United Bank, at your service.
38-16 Lincoln County as quick squibber comes down, picked up by the up man for Chapmanville across the 45 to about the 48-yard line. Nice heads-up grab there by Jeremy Browning, the junior, to get good field position for Chapmanville, but they're 3 touchdowns down with 6:36 to go.
Yeah, and that's that hurts. That interception, pick 6, really was the backbreaker there, Chris. As Chapmanville had hung tough this whole game and looked like they were about to force Lincoln County to have to come down and try and score again or get a stop and maybe get back in, get this game tied or even take a lead. But unfortunately for the Tigers, that one is going to hurt.
And again, this is a drive right here, just trying to build your momentum up. Again, keep the offense's heads up after that tough break on the last possession as they give it to Witt. Witt able to get across midfield down inside the 45, and he'll go down close to the first down marker, and they will give it to him, a gain of 10.
And that was a nice run there from Witt. Good gain, and after Chapmanville, you got to get into the 2-minute offense a little sooner than probably what you would have wanted. But still, you hear the coaches out there trying to make a play call here.
We're down to 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Dalton, 3 receivers to the far side, 1 up top as he'll roll that side. Fires downfield, almost intercepted again. As coming over and cutting that pass off was Trace Atkins as he was looking for Turner down the sideline.
And one thing Dalton is going to learn is the more he plays quarterback, the more he will learn this. He can't look down his receivers like of course he's a young quarterback, so he will learn that. But the more you look down your receivers, the more that the defensive backs especially are going to read your eyes and try to leap in front of that route and try to pick him off. And that's what they're doing now. So Dalton will learn that. He's getting there. He's getting better each and every game, Chris, if you ask me.
2 receivers to each side as they'll send Preston Smith in motion up top. As Dalton sets up the screen, completes it to Witt. Witt gets by the first tackler inside the 35-30, down to the 25, and he's finally cut down at about the 22-yard line for a gain of 20.
Well, let's see what Chapmanville can do here. Try to get another score on this board here going into the late stages of the game. We're halfway through the fourth quarter. Tiger team, they don't quit. They refuse to quit.
And you talk about some of the youth here. Again, Dalton just a sophomore, Preston Smith a junior. You got Caleb Witt that's a sophomore. R.J. Jones on the defensive side of the ball, just a freshman. I mean, there's a ton to build on here. And,
absolutely.
Alex Berry was just a sophomore whenever he started for Chapmanville, had some tough games, but by the time he was a senior, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the state, and I think you see a lot of that promise in Brody Dalton, just a sophomore, as he has his pass batted down at the line of scrimmage. Will bring up second and 10.
And Dalton's got, again, this is the first, I think it's the first time he's ever played quarterback, especially in high school, but, did he even play quarterback in middle school is the question. He's really learning a whole new position now, so this is news to him. This is only his 4th game ever, maybe under center. So, again, takes some time, takes some learning, but I think he's doing a great job for a kid that's only played, this is his 4th game as a starting quarterback.
Again, last year he was a wide receiver.
Yeah, he was a good wide receiver, which is what surprised me about him being the quarterback. And now Chapmanville has to take a timeout.
Yeah, he had 46 catches last year for 478 yards and 3 touchdowns for Chapmanville, one of, if not the leading receiver for the team. And like we said, now stepping in at quarterback. And on top of that, he's got the height to be able to see over the line. He's got the speed to be able to take off with the ball.
Yeah,
and his accuracy keeps getting better.
He passes all the tests that you look at for what makes a good quarterback. He's definitely a guy that would pass that test. So, again, Brody Dalton, I look for a great future for him, not only in football, but, in basketball, too. He started last year as a freshman. He's got a lot ahead of him here at Chapmanville. He may go down as one of the best athletes Chapmanville ever produces.
And again, with Mann and Herbert Hoover going on, our last look in, it was Herbert Hoover leading 21-12. What do we have now?
Score remains the same right now as Mann is trailing still 21-12, which is a fantastic Rush album, by the way. I'm going to throw that in there for our music buffs. But, yes, and Herbert Hoover has the ball right now. I believe it is still the third quarter, but it is winding down here at George A. Queen Memorial Field.
I was going to say, Rush, they were inspired by ABBA, weren't they?
ABBA, who wasn't?
On 2nd and 10 out of the timeout, Dalton, quarterback keeper, tries to take it to the left, but he's going to get brought down by Shemp after about a yard gain.
Chapmanville's had spurts of greatness on offense tonight, but Lincoln County's also done a good job at containing Dalton, especially in that first half. They did a really nice job of not letting Dalton get comfortable throwing the ball. So I think Lincoln County, they deserve a lot of credit. They're a good football team, and they're going to be tough in AAA, I think.
I agree. It'd be nice to see them be able to get in for the first time in school history as Dalton on 3rd down, rolls out, fires deep, trying to find Smith, and a good defensive play by Miller as he breaks it up. Good throw and good route, but Miller was able to get his hand in on it.
Yeah, that's just a good defensive play there. for Miller to knock that ball away as we go under 5 minutes to go here in this one. Chapmanville now looking at 4th and 10. Let's see what they dial up here.
As they have it 4th and 10 from the Lincoln County 22, and that'll be another aspect that Chapmanville looks at. I believe this is the 5th time they've been inside the 30-yard line of Lincoln County tonight.
I believe they've been inside the 30 almost every drive they've had tonight.
Yeah, again, they've moved the ball well this evening. It's just been in this part of the field where they've had some difficulty, as Dalton on 4th and 10, looking deep, fires towards the sideline, incomplete, as it was too tall for Chris Farley, and that will turn it over on downs as Lincoln County will go to work on the clock with 4:48 to go.
And Chapmanville with just one timeout. Lincoln County could probably potentially put this one to bed. But again, if you're Brody Dalton and if you're Chapmanville, you can't hang your head. You played well tonight. Just it's a couple things don't go your way sometimes, and again, it's part of that learning, that growing that we talked about, Chris.
And as we said, just a lot of seniors lost, some turnover on the coaching staff. Obviously, the difficulties everyone's dealt with COVID everywhere, as they give it off to Smith as he gets a big burst across the 30, the 35, 40, stays inbound, still on his feet across midfield and down at the 49-yard line at Chapmanville, and he's got to be at or over 200 yards now.
Yeah, I would put him at 200 yards easily. He is a running machine tonight for this Lincoln County team, and he just doesn't get tired. He doesn't look like he is tired at all. He looks like he can play another game here right after this one.
And just some of the newspaper articles I read trying to bone up on them for the game tonight, even some of the Wayne coaches talked about how elusive he was, and he talked about, how he can make people miss sometimes in open field. He's very humble about his ability, and, tonight he's shown that off in spades as he's been incredible for the Panthers as they have it 1st and 10 at the 49 of Chapmanville. They'll give it to him again as he heads off the right end, as trying to stay in bounds, and he does. And that's another thing. After an 8-yard run, he was right near the sideline the whole time and had the presence of mind to keep himself in bounds to make sure that the clock kept running to the junior.
That's something you can't really teach. That's a knowledge of somebody that's played football a lot and just knows the aspect of the game, knows where he's at and what he's doing. That's a good play call, and that's a good move there for Lincoln County to keep that one in bounds as they're just running the clock here for the rest of this one.
And we talk about some of the youth for Chapmanville. Again, Shemp and Smith, both just juniors on this team.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be back next season, and that's going to be big for Lincoln County for sure.
They'll give it off on the inside handoff to Atkins. He gets a crease inside the 35, the 30, runs into his own blocker, and he gets shoved out of bounds. As that'll be down to about the 23-yard line for another first down. And as we said, if you're Atkins there, you might want to follow the lead of Smith. He's a good run, but had his opportunities to stay in bounds, but ended up getting pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, that's one of those where I've seen a lot of players. Sometimes they'll get towards the edge and they notice where they're at, and then they just kind of fall. Instead of picking up an extra 2 yards, they'll just fall and keep the clock running. And that's something they need to do in that situation. It's Chapmanville late getting a player on the field.
So down to 3:09 to go in the contest. 38-16 in favor of Lincoln County. As under center is Shemp. He'll give it off to Smith again as he rushes up the gut. Still on his feet. Somehow got free. He's inside the 10. Sutter steps at the 5, and he'll get into the end zone. Where did he get free at?
I have no clue where he disappeared inside of a pile there, and the next thing you know, he's in the end zone. I don't know how he does it.
That was an incredible run. That looked like maybe a 3-yard run in a cloud of dust, and somehow he got out of it.
Smith, Chris, I'll say this, Smith is one of the best running backs I've seen in the state this year so far.
He definitely is right there at the top of the list of what we've seen. That's a 23-yard touchdown run for him as he just continues to pile up the stats here tonight. And now they will go for 2. And a flag comes down to be
apparently there was no touchdown there. We thought there was a touchdown. He must have stepped out of bounds.
Okay, so they did mark him out at the 3, it appeared.
Did they not signal touchdown?
I don't really see where he would have stepped out of bounds at, though.
I thought he scored.
Well, nevertheless, now 1st and goal from the 8 instead. But it nevertheless doesn't diminish the run that Smith had a moment ago. As now we'll see if he gets a chance to finish it off here from the 9.
We'll know in a second.
as Shemp will roll out. He gets inside the 5, and he walks into the end zone as touchdown good. And that'll make it 44-16 now in favor of Lincoln County.
Okay, that was the 2-point conversion.
Okay, so I was
all right.
Okay, so it is a 2-point conversion. That was good instead for Shemp, so that pushes the lead now to 46-16 with 2:51 to go. We'll be back after this as you're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football action right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions. Chapmanville with the return will get it out to about the 42-yard line with 2:43 to play here in the game as Lincoln County has broken the game open at 46-16. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush with you. And again, game just turned quickly as Chapmanville had a chance to cut it to a 1-touchdown game with about 6 minutes to go. And then the 99-yard interception return by Isaiah Kuntz turned the tables, and Lincoln County has scored on every possession here in the second half.
Yeah, and Lincoln County has been dominant here in the second half. And you don't, maybe you think Chapmanville, just a little tired from, all the activities they've had. And I believe we're going to get some of the reserves into the ball game here now, as I think Chapmanville's taken out most of the starters. Get some of the young guys some playing time, which will be good. But Lincoln County's just controlled the second half for the most part. Chris, Chapmanville had that chance to get back in. That interception return for the touchdown really hurt. It was a backbreaker, and Lincoln County's opened the floodgates ever since. So we'll see what Chapmanville can do. And again, I believe the game with Nitro has been moved to Saturday. We don't know what's going on Friday night or if there is anything going on Friday night. So, again, we'd love to tell you what we're going to be doing soon, but we don't have a clue.
Yeah, that's your guess is as good as mine. Like I said, Nathan and our status is kind of in the air on Saturday for that game. And like I said, I coach middle and high school tennis, and our middle school conference tournaments that day on Saturday, barring weather. And, Nathan's son turns 2 on Saturday. They had a birthday party scheduled, so, we'll have to just see how things get jumbled.
The only thing I coached is starring Craig T. Nelson.
I just thought the theme song in my head now. As they hand it off here on first down, as Miller gets the handoff, and boy, he's wiry. He can squirt through some holes. He picks up 10 or 11 yards.
He's quick. Nice move there with the feet, and well done. Nice run there for Miller. It was a good run, but man, that was a great show, Coach, if you ask me. I
loved it.
Loved that show.
Absolutely loved it. Craig T. Nelson, he can coach my team any day.
Amen.
As Chapmanville gets to the line of scrimmage, I'm sure that a lot of my players probably would rather have Craig T. Nelson as well. First and 10 from the 47 of Lincoln County as they give it off again to Miller as he gets lifted up that time and brought down after about a 1-yard carry.
Miller there just kind of squirting forward and almost got lifted up as now some of the subs for Lincoln County have made their way into the ball game. And in at quarterback, freshman Drew Berry for Chapmanville, getting him a few snaps. Again, maybe the quarterback of the future here at Chapmanville, depending on what they decide to do with Dalton as quarterback. Not that Dalton's doing a bad job or losing his job or anything.
Just Barry's got some talent as well in this position, and, you definitely want to see both of them develop as much as possible as him and his running back ran into each other that time, but Witt able to take the handoff and get ahead for about 3 yards.
Yeah, nice run there from Witt. We're going to see some more reserves come in as we get under a minute and a half to go in this one.
We're under a minute and a half to go.
Is there an echo? I'm kidding.
Just making sure we all heard it.
Well, we all did. Well, let's see now what the Tigers dial up here. They're going out of the I formation.
Approaching a minute now as Barry will hand it off to Miller as he stutter steps in the hole. Another nice little move as he gets ahead, and he'll have enough for the first down as he picks up about 7 yards.
Miller lowered that shoulder and just kind of lifted his man up, and Lincoln County does a line change here for all you hockey fans out there.
Yeah, they've been bringing in and out different people here, trying to make sure everybody gets in the game and gets a little bit extra experience. As we're
Nothing wrong with that.
As we're now falling under 40 seconds to go. This could possibly be the final play of the game.
Yeah, I believe it will be.
Again, Chapmanville, as we mentioned, will be back in action on Saturday at 1 o'clock against Nitro. While it will be senior night, I anticipate they'll keep it that way as Barry pitches it back to Miller again, tries to get to the outside and does. He gets to the sideline, cuts back inside. He'll have a first down to the 25 as a gain of 12, and he's another young weapon that Chapmanville can have in the future here.
Nice. Miller has impressed me here on this drive. He's really wiry and can run. And that should do it for this one.
Yeah, that will wrap it up as Chapmanville will let the clock run out as Lincoln County turns on the afterburners in the fourth quarter as they pull away from Chapmanville late, and they win at 46-14 to move to 3-2 on the year, and Chapmanville falls to 1-3 overall on the season. Nathan and I will step aside for a break and be back after this as you're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football action right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
2-minute break, everybody. 2-minute break. 2 minutes. You didn't throw my bag away over there, did you? I had a bag. Did it get thrown away? Yeah. Ah, you bastard. All right. I put the headsets in the...
(46-16), Lincoln County defeats Chapmanville tonight. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you. And again, Nathan, one of those games definitely will be closer than what the final score indicated, as Chapmanville had their chance to get it down to one score halfway through the fourth quarter, but then Lincoln County able to get the 99-yard interception return for a touchdown, then scoring after Chapmanville ended up being unable to punch it in on their last possession. But as we said, Chapmanville has played very hard in all three of these losses, but just had their difficulties inside the 30 in a couple of these games, but they continue to improve each week.
Oh, absolutely, Chris. They play hard, and they're getting better, this young team, and they're playing a lot of games in a close time frame. And, again, these are some of those growing pains we talked about. Chapmanville has nothing to be upset about. I thought they did a great job tonight. They were in it in there until the interception really was what put the game away. But I thought Chapmanville did a great job.
Again, 46-16, Lincoln County winners tonight over the Chapmanville Tigers.
And credit Lincoln County, because I thought some of their offensive and defensive weapons did great. I think Smith may be one of the best running backs in the state. He is fantastic. He's done a great job. Great play calling there to cover up for the loss of a quarterback. So give Lincoln County all the credit in the world. They're a great football team.
Absolutely. Again, they've got a lot of promise moving forward, not just this season, but next as well, and it'll be interesting to see where they end up come the end of the year and possibly a chance to make the playoffs for the first time in school history for the Panthers. We'll step aside for our final break and be back in 60 seconds here from Tiger Stadium for our Temp Control Hot Hand of the Game Award winner, as you're listening to and watching Tiger football action right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions. Now for our Temp Control Hot Hand of the Game, brought to you by Temp Control of Chapmanville. And tonight's hot hand goes to Preston Smith. Again, Smith had 4 big grabs in this game, especially the 39-yarder that set Chapmanville up with the 1. Again, unfortunately had the pick 6 after that, but Smith started the game with 2 big grabs, 2 big gains, and after the 2-touchdown game he had on Friday night against Wayne, really starting to establish himself as one of the better receivers in the area and possibly even moving up in the state as we move along this season. So Preston Smith, our Temp Control Hot Hand of the Game Award winner. And this winter, if you want your home to be as comfortable as possible, call Stuart Trickler and Roland Mullins at Temp Control of Chapmanville at 304-855-5200. Well, again, Nathan, final thoughts on tonight's contest, as well as a final update on man before we say our goodbyes and we figure out where we might actually be or not be as the week moves on.
I think Chapmanville is progressing well. This is a young team that's got a lot to learn, and I think they're learning that right now. Coach Barker and his guys are getting better coaching-wise. I think they're getting these players to buy in. And again, Chris, I go back to the discipline. This is probably one of the most disciplined teams. They don't get a lot of penalties. They don't mess up a lot in terms of, making bonehead plays or doing something that can affect the team with a 15-yard penalty or something like that. That's just it's not their style. I think they do a good job there. And Chapmanville will grow from there. That's a solid foundation. They'll get better moving forward. And right now, Herbert Hoover leads man 28-12. Fourth quarter, clock rolling. Hoover is back in control of the ball now. So looks like Hoover is trying to put this one away.
So again, you can check out the rest of that game on Video Productions as well, and go back and check out this game on Video Productions later on, as well as the huge archives that they have on Video Productions, even on WVOW Radio, the archives we have on there. Go back and listen to all of the broadcasts that you want, whether on our app or on our website as well. So, again, we've got all sorts of high school action, all sorts of me and Nathan all over the place now. Who would have thunk that? But
that's not something people want, but,
you know what? You're going to enjoy it no matter what because, again, it's great quality, great broadcast on both ends, and we appreciate everyone from Video Productions and WVOW that allow us to be able to do this week in and week out. But, again, we'll say goodnight here from Tiger Stadium as Chapmanville falls to Lincoln County 46-16 as the Panthers go to 3-2 on the year. Chapmanville falls to 1-3. So for Joe Mounts, our cameraman, Butch Mounts, our engineer on Video Productions, with Terry Bucklew, our engineer back in the WVOW studios.
The Wolf!
For Nathan Bush, I'm Chris Kidd saying so long tonight from Chapmanville, West Virginia, as you've been listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger football action right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.